Oh, don't you dare do riddles on this damn show again.
No, I'm doing riddles. Why? We can open with riddles.
So people can say, oh my gosh, man, you don't get that riddle because I got it because I have Google and I'm watching it in post-show. You know, I don't want to hear all that. Anyways,
Dude.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the VisualWood Podcast, episode number 26.
What is so delicate that saying its name breaks it?
Are you seriously going to start with a riddle right now?
Yeah, come on.
I am here with the beautiful, elegant Winning Potatoes. How are you doing, sir?
The answer to that riddle was silence.
Oh.
Silence is so delicate that saying its name breaks it. There you go. Do you want another one? Okay, what kind of tree can you carry in your hand?
What kind of truth?
This is more of a joke. What kind of tree can you carry in your hand?
Tree?
Yeah, tree.
Weed, obviously. Come on now.
Wow, what? Wow. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not even going to give the real answer. That was too good. So how have you been doing this fine week?
Oh, I've been doing quite well. How about you, sir?
You always ask me how I've been doing, so I thought I'd get the jump this time. Just like last time I got the jump.
Because I'm the only one that cares, so. Yeah,
you're a lot more polite than me. I like to think of you being more phatic than me. You know, you go through the general.
Why do you have to add a fat to that word?
No. That's, like, phatic speech is where you like say, hello, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm good. You know, like, it's the drivel you go through before
like
you really get down to...
from Winnie the Pooh.
What?
I guess I'll just hang myself today.
Wow. I haven't seen Winnie the Pooh for so long, but is his character just genuinely depressed all day, every day?
Yes, always depressed. Like I think there's moments where you'll see him happy, but even that is kind of depressing.
How does that even work in a kids show? Like, I don't understand.
Dude, there's a lot of kids shows that have very like dark undertones, dude. Like you don't really realize it when you're young, but when you get older, you're like, oh my god, what's going on here?
Speaking of weed, did you ever watch like the Magic Roundabout?
No, what is that?
Oh, it was like you may have to Google it, but it's like it was this old thing I used to watch when I was a kid. Maybe it's a British thing. I don't know whether it fully is, but it's like actually I think it's like a French thing. But it's it was like a clay doll animation kind of, as far as I remember, like kids show about these characters in a weird like drug world. Like the thing is, you go back and watch it as an adult, and you just realize just the entire thing is basically like an LSD trip. And like there's one character who is just this rabbit that just sits about high playing the guitar all day. And it's like the show really got under my skin as a kid. Like, I loved it. I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. And like everyone was really, really enjoying it. And now I look back and I'm like, what did I actually enjoy about this show? Was it just the colours? Like, I don't remember any plots from it at all. I just now know it as, oh, this is that drug show.
Did you also enjoy Teletubbies?
I did. Okay, here's the sad thing about me. I was a little bit too old for Teletubbies, and I used to watch it anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I was like 7, maybe 8 when Teletubbies came out, and I used to watch it. Like,
I don't. Like, you ever heard of the other one? I think it was called Booba.
Twinkies.
Oh. It's a Booba, and that's what you would hear. And they jiggle in their pod. Like,
yeah,
I wish you could see me.
Actually, I have seen that. That's a really scary one, though, isn't it? That's like really weird, really surreal.
It's very weird. Like, there's no way a kid can understand what's going on. But I think what it's supposed to do, it's like the kid is interested in what's happening on the screen because the kid is not really listening to the words anyway. I guess babies are not listening to the words anyway.
Yeah.
Well, even though kind of that's how they learn the English language, obviously, while their mom and dad is talking to them. But like, I don't know. Like, I guess it was popular, I guess. I
think it's still about, isn't it? The shows like that are weird though, because like as a human being, you have 2 times where you can enjoy kids shows. Number 1 is when you're a kid. Number 2 is when you're a parent and you find yourself during like long Sunday afternoons sitting with your kids and they're watching the kids shows, and then you start rewatching them and you get really invested, and like you really start digging Postman Pat and Thomas the Tank. And do you ever have Thomas the Tank? I think that's another.
I had Thomas the Steam Engine. I think his name was Thomas.
Oh, we've talked about this, dude. We've talked about this. We had a whole like argument about Because you thought I was talking about like Thomas as a tank. Do you remember? And you were like, what?
Yeah,
it's a tank, like an army tank.
That's the British version. You know, because you guys are so angry. You guys, instead of a steam engine that transports people and goods and stuff, you just want to kill everybody. Thomas the Tank.
Well, some trains
the murderer of
transport,
U.S. soldiers.
Weapons of war and things. Not always people. It was train. Actually, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Hold on. What were your favorite child cartoons? I mean, like Saturday morning cartoons. When you're a lot older. For me, like Wishbone, Arthur.
Wishbone. What the hell is Wishbone?
Wishbone was like this little dog that would like help solve like stuff, I guess. I can't remember all like what the episodes were about sometimes, but I remember this episode of him solving where someone was hidden, and it was a kid's show. But like it was like I think there might be different things with the dog was involved, and it was a real life show, like a real dog and everything, trained dog. Yeah.
My God. What was it, like an educational thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was on.
And it was like there was a woman with it. Did they have a plane, like a spotted plane?
I don't remember. It's been so long, dude. I used to enjoy Arthur, the Magic School Bus, and it would like everyone would go inside the Magic School. I swear, the teacher was crazy. They'll go inside the Magic School Bus, and this girl was sick, and they went inside of her nose or ear. And went inside of her body to try to figure out why she was sick and stuff, or try to learn about it. It was really weird, dude. Like a lot of stuff, but it still was a good show. Arthur,
is this the show where they're like all rabbits or rats or whatever?
No, that's Arthur.
Yeah. That's the same one, right? Okay.
Yeah, Magic School Bus. I think they were human. I think. I have to look at it again. But yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, the old Sonic.
Oh, you were a Fox kid. You used to watch Fox stuff, didn't you?
Well, that and I watched anything, really.
Biker Mice!
I would switch between the two channels, actually. I didn't have cable back then. My stepbrother had cable, and we used to watch Cartoon Network, like Dragon Ball Z and all that. And Toonami, come on. Toonami! Which got brought back now, but yeah. But what about you? Before we move on?
I was definitely more of a Cartoon Network. When I was younger, my older brother used to love Fox, and I don't know, I never liked that stuff. It was like too confrontational or whatever. Like, it's so sad. It was like, I don't know, all the like action shows and stuff, which I would probably enjoy a lot more if I was watching now, I used to sort of just shy away from it, and I'd watch like all the Cartoon Network stuff that was probably aimed at a much younger demo than me. And I never really liked Nickelodeon that much either. Like, I watched some stuff. I got into Sabrina for a little while.
Oh,
and
I
hear that if you rewatch Sabrina, that, dude, it's like terrible. It's like really bad.
I don't want to even try, actually.
No, but that's fun though. Every time, what you do is you make a drinking game out of it. You watch the shows, and every time they make you cringe, you take a drink.
Oof.
And you try and like marathon a season a night or something. It works.
But you know what is good that I've watched when I was older was like Disney Channel, like iCarly and stuff is actually pretty good. Like, I don't know, I feel weird saying that, but like, I don't know.
You should feel weird. You should feel weird. We're all judging you right now.
It was actually good. I don't watch it now, but I mean, not that makes even a difference, because I watched it like maybe like 5-6 years ago when it was first coming on and stuff. And I used to watch it.
So you were like 19?
Somewhere around
watching
there.
This? Wow.
Okay. I wasn't like waiting for the new episode, but like I would switch the channels, and that's what would pop on. Because Cartoon Network around that time was kind of like going downhill for me. Like, and then now they brought back Toonami. They got like Adventure Time and all these other shows. I don't really watch cable anymore. I don't have cable. I just disconnected it. I was like, why? Well, we have internet. Why?
I never actually watched Adventure Time.
Have a 300 gigabyte cap. So.
Okay. What does that even mean? Realistically speaking?
I use double or triple that. Actually, triple that every month, and they're giving me a cap of 300 gigabytes, mandatory. I'm on my last month. Yeah. I'm on my last month.
Dude, why haven't you talked about this? Aren't you like really peeved about that?
Yeah, I'm really peeved. I have the fastest internet I can with them, and I'm like, I pay for the fastest internet, and you guys are giving me a cap, and there's nothing I can do. But I complained. I got to the toppest person I could, like the manager of my area, and still he was giving me the most like stinkiest attitude, like, well, that's just too much. You're using too much. And I'm like, what do you mean? I pay for unlimited internet. I've been with you guys for years, and you guys constantly give me trouble. I don't say that, but like,
dude, can you get another provider?
No, I can't, because I'm in this condo and they have a deal with Comcast.
Why don't you get, like, can't you have, what's that called? Like a condo board meeting where you get everyone together. I've seen it in TV shows. It doesn't matter. You get everyone and then they're like, oh, we need to vote on changing. You got to do that, man.
It doesn't
That's what you
matter.
got to do. Change your service.
It's going to cost money, and it doesn't happen like that because Comcast controls certain areas.
This is always the same story. Whenever Americans tell me that they've got bad internet or whatever, at first I'm like, oh, you really don't have bad internet. There's a lot of much worse off countries that have bad internet than you. But the main problem, though, is whenever Americans do seem to have a problem with their internet, it's always, oh, I can't change because I live in the countryside. Or I live, like you're saying, you just don't have the option even though you're in a city.
Yeah.
I feel pretty bad for you. How is it possible that your internet is going backwards?
Because they can. and now that's what it is, because they can. They're gonna save money and then, you know, like expand or whatever. I don't know, like they don't want us using so much internet. And I'm pretty sure there's some elaborate plan. Someone better in the comments can better explain that. But they bought Time Warner cable. Okay, I was just watching Daily Bite on the Polaris channel, and they bought Time Warner cable, and I was like, no. So
there's even less competition.
No. I was oh my gosh, I'm a little depressed because what I'm gonna have to do, because there's no way I can use under 30 gigabytes, I mean 300 gigabytes. I would have to go to the business, and their business plans are unlimited, but it's lower internet, like it'll be like 50.
And how is that possible? What? Why is a business class grade of internet lower than what consumers, you know, your average consumer can get?
No idea. I have to pay more to get more. I have to pay way more than what I currently pay. So it's more for business, because I guess businesses use it for multiple things, but that's what I'm going to have to do. And that's what a lot of YouTubers get. They have to get the business class because of these caps and stuff. And Comcast is forcing this cap on everyone. So, and I can't go to AT&T. They suck. Like, I'm sorry, like people who have AT&T, you guys don't use it hard enough. All right, because I use AT&T and that junk DSL is garbage. Okay, it's not good. It's just too slow. I use the fastest. How could I go with the fastest internet I have? I think I get like 150 megabits. Is it megabits? I think it's megabits. Because they transfer.
No, it's probably megabytes, isn't it? Oh, no, I think they do tell you in bits. Yeah. They do, because they do. It's like a marketing thing.
Yeah,
you're right.
Megabytes. Megabytes, I get like 14 megabytes per second. Yeah. So I can download a movie in like 2 seconds. Like, it's like that easy. It's that easy. But yeah, I just want so badly to get like Verizon or Google Fiber and all that. But yeah. Anyways, that is it. Also, people are asking, I guess you guys are new. Is this a live stream? No, it's not. It's pre-recorded and then I upload it to the site.
Whoa. We're not live right now?
We are recording it live. Of course we're recording it live.
I'm recording to a live audience in my room right now. I have a whole host of people sat on my bed.
Right, they're so
staring
quiet.
At me.
They're so quiet.
Well, yeah, they're very good.
Are they
It's just my microphone. It's myself.
They're Oompa Loompas. Did you steal them from the Wonka chocolate factory? You guys got one of them there, right?
They're real people, Matt.
I can just imagine. They're not real people. They're orange. Real people aren't orange.
Some of them are. Like if they go in a tanning booth and do it wrong, you know, or they're from like the Jersey Shore or whatever.
It was a joke, by the way, because some people take our jokes very seriously, and I feel like I have to censor myself.
You're gonna protect our Jersey Shore audience from my atrocious comment I just made. Sorry to everyone from the show.
I hate everybody, and you know I'm obviously racist. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I would eventually like to do it live and with some face cam, because it would make more sense to put it online for that.
Well, dude, did I tell you that I streamed? I can't even remember if I told you that.
What? You streamed when?
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't tell you. I'll tell you and everyone else. I originally, this wasn't, I don't know if you remember, Matt, when we were first doing this, like, we weren't, like, I was like, should it be a podcast or whatever? Because I'm always invited on them, but I always say no, because I feel like I'd do bad in a live environment. I've said that many times, but I've been having, like, insane pressure from 2 specific people over the past few months to just constantly be live streaming. So I tried it out the other day. Yeah, I was on my, my warrior in just PvE. I streamed for about, someone told me that I went for, like, 11 hours or something. I don't think I went that long. But apparently, like, I was going for quite a long time. I got, like, almost 100% map completion from, like, 70% or something. I went from, like, 70 to 90 while streaming and just talking to people. You weren't there? You missed it?
Yeah, I missed it.
It's a shame.
See, you should have invited me, but, you know, whatever.
I didn't block you on Skype while I was streaming, so that there would be no chance you could get on the stream. Right,
just like you blocked me when, you go invisible when you go to PvP, right? Yeah, okay. It's fine.
I don't block you when I go to PvP. So anyways, I just don't log on to...
Speaking about streaming, Twitch plays Pokemon. So this is one of the things you've been addicted to, right?
Wow, that was quite the segue.
Yes, it was, man. This is see a new audio setup, and you know, like gotta get with the program. We got like a nice little Google Doc now that we can share together. You know, me and you.
It's all very, very premium, guys. Very fancy stuff.
Very fancy. I know, man. We just keep getting better. All right, go ahead.
So here's how I thought that the podcast would start. You would and then I ruined it for myself. So ask me how I've been.
So how you been?
Oh, I've been great, man. It's been awesome.
Playing
My whole last week.
Over and over
No. I haven't been at work. Well, I have been at work. We got 2 back-to-back kills, by the way. It was pretty awesome. We're doing pretty good with it now.
Gosh.
Yeah.
How were those rewards? Huh? So good. Still good.
I still haven't got any ascended stuff. I feel they said that they upped the rewards. Well, we've only killed it like 5 times ever.
Oh, really?
It's hard to do, dude.
So you just been playing this whole time and you still haven't killed it multiple
teaching
times?
150 people how to play the game, you know, when they're so bad they have to have a dodge roll called to them from a predictable attack that comes from the boss every single time. It's not easy, like, and you've got to coordinate a lot of people to get on.
Dodge! Why aren't you dodging? More dodge,
it's like
more
at
dodge.
Tech is worse for it. To Quato, it's like you have to. The commander is like calling every single wave, and it's like such a constant part of the entire fight. Who are these people that literally don't have like the mental capacity to realize that they're gonna have to constantly dodge the whole way through and just look for themselves? You know, that while relying on a commander to call dodge so that they can switch their brain off again and auto attack for a little while longer before the next wave comes. Like, who are these people? Genuinely, I'm always curious. But
some of them
It does so much better when you do have a commander calling dodges. So clearly people need it. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's to be honest, like there's a lot of stuff going on screen, man. Some people have really bad computers as well. So
okay, yeah, that's true.
You know, there's a lot of effects, and it's like too much stuff is going on, man. Like Zerg combat in Guild Wars 2 it's a little, you know, like 50%. Like 50% of the time, you might have some good, you know, things going on, and then another 50%, lots of crap going on, and you don't even know what's happening, especially in that new Lines Arch patch as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how have you? We'll talk about that in a second. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I haven't been at Worm so much. I've been watching Twitch plays Pokemon. I don't want to hang on this too much, because I feel like everyone will be talking about it and stuff, like, especially on the circle of people I watch, like, it's just, but I feel like I should mention it, because I'm in hipster mode at the moment. I was watching this before I got cool. I was watching it when I was, like, 20,000 viewers, like, long before all these other people came along. Like, so, what do you know about it first? Because I know you know something about it.
Well, yeah, you know, we probably watched the same circle of people. They were talking about, like, basically the Twitch chat can enter commands to control the person on the screen, or control the game itself, which is weird. I thought it was a real person playing it, but it's not. It's like an actual program, right?
Yeah, it's like there is a program that reads Twitch chat, and anytime it recognizes a command, it will then put it into the virtual Game Boy, and that's it. And it's like, they sort of ruined it a little bit, but originally it was just all these thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people all inputting stuff all at once to see whether they could make any progress. And when you first click on that stream, you look at the way the character's moving, like constantly opening its bag, constantly closing it, spinning around in circles, talking to the same guy all the time, getting stuck on certain things. And it seems like it's this impossible thing. Like, they could never ever complete the game. And the fascinating and amazing and beautiful thing about it is, indeed, they do actually make progress. And for the start as well, they were making really rapid progress. They were getting like a badge a day. Like, and it's been really... Go ahead.
Wow. A badge a day? Wow.
Yeah.
So that
like,
means they've been training as well the whole time?
Yeah, like and it's a weird thing because you see it for like a snippet. Maybe you watch the stream for even half an hour solid, and you just see what marginal progress is actually made. But it's really eye-opening to realize that having that immense weight of players on this game every single second of every single hour of every day really actually gives you tons of time to actually make progress through things. Like, it's this idea of randomness and that it would take months and months and months and months to complete when you see it just by a little bit. But really, there's so much time in the day. Like, you think, oh, okay, I could sit down and play Pokemon Red in a day or something, or try and rush through as much as possible. But you, as a human being, are going to have moments where you pause it to go get a glass of water or go to the toilet or, you know, have a shower that night. And then you're obviously going to go to sleep as well. There is none of this, like, not even a second of downtime for, like, the way that this game is played. And it's just, it's incredible. Like, it's always there, always running. Every now and then the stream has come down for tiny little things, and it's been such a crazy insight into the way like humanity works.
I just don't see how they would catch Pokemon and actually play properly.
Pure dumb luck, pure randomness. 10 encounters they have in a row, they might wipe on that, you know, they'll just be randomly doing stuff, trying to throw an item at the Pokemon that can never be used or anything like that. But then on the 11th, finally they'll get a kill and it'll give them a tiny bit of experience. And then and on and on and on and on and on until like they've grind. Like, their best character is a Pidgeot, which is just it's nothing amazing. Like, it's a pretty good one, but it's like it's got no specific type advantages over things necessarily. It's just like a normal Pokemon. But because by luck this was the one that got like the better attacks with the higher PP, like it ended up just getting grinded up really, really far ahead of the rest, and now it's like they call it like Bird Jesus now. It's the greatest thing in their team ever.
Can you imagine like picking a move and you poof something that's really strong? Oh my gosh, that would be devastating.
Yeah, that happens all the time. Yeah, all the time. And like, so dig in the games, guys, if you use this ability called dig, it will like take you out of a dungeon or whatever and put you back at your most recently visited Pokemon Center. And they have a Rattata with this move dig that accidentally learnt it, and so now there is this constant risk while this Pokemon is in their party. They spend like 5 hours making progress through a certain area, and then it will randomly dig them back, and they'll go no, and then they have to do it all again just because of this pure dumb luck. Because one guy accidentally typed start, one guy pressed A, one guy pressed down, and it all happened in like the perfect sequence, and finally, you know, it triggered. And it's going to be really risky later as well when they get like Fly. Like, Fly in that game will just constantly keep moving them back to pallet time. It's like dig on crack, and it's going to happen eventually. And there's been all this fascinating stuff. At first I thought, oh, look, this is a great demonstration of like why democracy in its purest of forms fails. Like, because this is everyone has a say, everyone is running the game, right? So, and that's what I originally saw it as, but actually like it's more of a model of like how anarchy works. And eventually they added like these two different modes to it that you can vote for, where either every move is being voted for the character to move, or everyone has full input all the time, and it's like anarchy versus democracy. And there's all this stuff going on, like all this religious stuff is happening as well with it, which like, so there was one area, right? In Pokemon, if you've got a ledge, you can jump down the ledge, but you can't move back up it. And in one of the early days, there was this long stretch of path that the character had to move along without accidentally dropping down the ledge. And so you had all these trolls that were just typing down to make the character go down. And it was like they were stuck there forever. And while they were at this ledge, the character kept like going in its bag for no reason, obviously, and looking at random items. Now, because of the way that the game works, you can throw items away, right? Eventually, the Red had every single item in the game was basically tossed out of their bag, except 2 key items, right? And the top one on the list was this thing called the Helix Fossil. And so the way that the game was being played out was this character was stuck, couldn't get across the ledge for hours and hours and hours, but was constantly opening up its bag and looking at the Helix Fossil. And like, it's just the funniest idea in the world to think that this like character in the game couldn't make it and like kept going in its bag to like consult this Helix Fossil. And like, that was just this small joke people made, and then it blew up and up and up, and then everyone was like, oh, the Helix Fossil is our god, and then it became like this huge religion. And if you like look at any of the conversation and like on the Reddit that's going on with it at the moment, it's just entirely like this cult kind of movement that has just been bizarre and phenomenal to witness. It's like the greatest thing ever. Like, I've been having so much fun.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
like there's like a religion because you got like the helix fossil is just one item. They could have picked another one called the dome fossil. So now it's like the helix fossil is their god while the dome fossil is the devil. And then when they added anarchy versus democracy, everyone was like, oh no, anarchy's way better. So it's like helix stands for anarchy and the dome fossil stands for democracy. Oh, it's just so good, dude. Like they needed a Pokemon that would have surf and then everybody picked up an Eevee for no reason. And so everyone was like, oh, it's okay, we can evolve the Eevee into a Vaporeon, which is a water Pokemon, so it can use Surf, but then the Eevee accidentally evolved into a Flareon, which was the worst possible thing in the world, and then everyone was saying, like, that Flareon was the false prophet, and he should be banished away, and then everyone was, like, cheering when it accidentally got released to the PC. It's nuts, dude. It's nuts. It's, like, such an interesting social experiment.
Wow.
And apparently they're going through the whole franchise as well. So a lot of people are like, oh, it's just a cool little thing.
This is by Twitch, right? This is Twitch, the people who made this.
No. It's just a guy. Like, and there is some genius out there who was like, I've got a cool idea for a Twitch channel.
He's making so much money right now.
Yeah, and he was like, I'll let my viewers play the game. And like, Twitch is weird. If people don't ever go on Twitch, you can browse games on there, okay? And it will show all the top all the top viewed games on Twitch at that point, right? League of Legends always occupies that first slot and has a disproportionate number of people always watching it, like 100,000 people generally always watching League of Legends. And then like the second slot is usually something like Hearthstone, sometimes it's World of Warcraft,
or
other big games that are going on.
Yeah.
And Guild Wars 2 used to be on the front page, but it like slipped off a while ago. And so, well, the bizarre thing about Twitch now is because there's like 100k people constantly watching this game now, it's like even overtaking League of Legends at times. It's like Pokemon Red, this old game from 1996, 1994, like is up there. I think it was 1996, and it's the weirdest thing ever, and it's just everyone watching the same channel. There is another one actually. There is another channel called RNG Plays Pokemon, and it's another dude that after Twitch Plays Pokemon got picked up and got big. He made it. It's a version of the game that has completely randomized inputs at all times. So it's literally pure randomness, mathematically decided by the computer. And it's played at like 20 times speed. So like it can go really, really fast. And that stream is called RNG Plays Pokemon. And you can see how far a computer with entirely random inputs has got in the game. And obviously it moves a lot faster than real time. So it's like, 2 weeks into the game rather than just a matter of days. Now it's just
this big thing where everyone steals the idea and then now it just fizzles out and no one cares about it after a while, pretty much, is what's going to happen, like everything else on the internet.
Yeah, I think you might see... The thing is, the reason why the guy that made this is such a genius, if you think about it, like, what other game works this well? For that everybody can play and put a single command in. Well, what other games are there?
Well, I'm pretty sure there'll be games that can work, definitely, as long as it's that type of game, that top down. I mean,
but even just top down isn't enough. Like the early Zeldas, you can do it with because it's real time battle. So like you couldn't kill enemies without like it would just be too much.
Yeah, I mean, what would you think of Final Fantasy VII being played, or any of those Final Fantasies?
They wouldn't work. The earlier Final Fantasies could work. The early ones could work.
It would be pretty crazy to actually see that. That'd be pretty crazy.
And any game where you have to hold a button down sort of doesn't work.
Yeah.
If you think about it. So like holding to walk left or right or whatever. Yeah.
All right. So have you even touched have you been looking up games that have been coming out? Nothing? Anything?
I have a bit because of a new series that's going out on my channel soon. So I have been looking a bit at new games. I watched like Angry Joe did a video of like top 20 games of this year that he's looking forward to. And I'll see how those go.
How much are you into like graphics in a game? Like is it like obviously if the gameplay is good, it doesn't really matter, right? But what about those games that are supposed to aim for that type of realism type of thing going on? Like, would you like something that's really heavy in graphics?
I think graphics for me, like, I'm most excited about not for just playing games at the moment, but like the main thing graphically I care a lot about and still look up a lot of news about is the Skyrim modding community. There was some amazing screenshots that came out quite recently where this guy tweaked his game and it looks like real life. It really does. It's phenomenal. And I'm mostly excited about that kind of stuff though with regard to virtual reality in the future. Like, for people that don't know, I own an Oculus Rift. I'm quite enthusiastic about the whole thing. I don't talk too much about it on the channel, but like, it is something that I'm really, really enthused for. And I think, you know, graphically speaking, that's where I care most. For just playing games regularly, I don't know. I tend to not pay that much attention. Why? What's the story?
All right, so The Order 1866. Have you ever watched the trailer for that? It was
No.
It's a PS4 exclusive, sadly. But it basically the trailer looked amazing, and people thought it was a trailer and not the real game. But it turns out that those graphics are the game. It's identical to the game's graphics, and I watched some.
No way.
Yes, yes. So that was very impressive for PS4. Like, that is a very impressive demo.
No way is this real game.
And so what the story is that someone put on Twitter that it's 100K polygons per character. So, like, you'll see the character, and it has all these facial movements, you know, while it's shooting.
Isn't there like crazy diminishing returns on that though?
I don't know, man. I am not a programmer.
I've seen like graphs where it shows like a really low poly model, and it's like, okay, this looks really crappy. And they're like, okay, let's double the poly count. It's like, okay, that looks really good actually now. And then they double it again. It's like, oh yeah, look at these smaller details I can get. And then they double it again. And you're like, actually, the significance there, the difference there isn't really that significant. And then they double it again, and it's like, okay. And then they double it like another time, and it's like, wow, I can't really see the difference here. Like, what's the point in having all this extra stuff? But this is crazy.
A lot of the games that could be using, you know, like could be looking very, very well, they get put on old consoles a lot. You know, I don't want to be like the PC Master Race guy, but like, they're put on consoles and they're dumbed down all the way, and that's pretty much why GTA is not out on PC, I think, and they're taking so long to put it out on PC because really they dumbed it down for Xbox 360 and the newer systems, and they're probably going to go all out for PC.
I don't think they do that though, do they? They just, Rockstar, for whatever reason, always put a 1-year lag on all of the GTA games that come out, and they never really explain why, and when they do, they're usually very bad ports from the consoles with no extra features.
Oh, that sounds very terrible. That sounds very terrible.
But the one thing they do opening up is modding. They do let you mod once they put it to PC.
Right.
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, they put it on the consoles probably because it's going to sell well on the consoles. I
actually have seen this trailer before now that I'm watching it.
Yeah.
I think it was a long time ago. Yeah, E3 2013 I saw this.
Yeah, that's where I watched it as well.
What?
But yeah.
No way. So in 2013, they released this trailer that looks like immaculate CGI. And that the PS4 wasn't even announced at that point. They wouldn't have had access to the architecture, presumably, or any like dev consoles or anything. And now they're saying this original.
I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they give out these dev kits way before the game comes out, so they can have Watch Dogs and all that on release. That's why.
Yeah, but surely that would have been like when they announced the PS4 at E3 or whatever. That's when the dev consoles start going out.
No.
You think it's earlier than that? Well, what about
the
leaks
dev kit goes out earlier, so people can make games for it. Remember, Watch Dogs was supposed to be at launch.
Yeah, but a lot of those games are also ports, right? That they were games already in development, and then it's, oh, okay, now we can just put it on this new architecture.
I don't know, you know, like specifics, but I'm pretty sure people use like the dev kit in order for it to like transfer it over, or they go by using it. Like they test the game on the dev kit all the time. It's either a program, like I know for Xbox Live Arcade, they had a dev kit that was software based, and then you could transfer it to whichever version you want.
Right. Okay.
It all depends on how it's programmed. If it's programmed well, then you can probably switch it to anything you want. And that's why people take quite a long times for ports and stuff like that. I've seen like the couple software that I tried using back then when I was trying to make a game that had like stuff like, oh yeah, you can transfer it to this dev kit if you want, and blah blah blah. But yeah, but yeah, like that's the future for games, and I think console games is looking pretty damn decent.
Well,
it's
good.
I thought it would be depressing to look at, but apparently it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. So no longer, well, I don't know how Xbox One is going to do it, because like I was gonna get an Xbox, but now that I'm hearing all this news that it's gonna be like a lot of the games are gonna be in 720p. Like which one is the games? Metal Gear Solid 5 is gonna be 720p on Xbox and 1080p on PS4. Like I'm not a big, you know, like, oh, I have to have my games in a certain resolution. Well, you know, it depends on the game. And for some of those games, I kind of want to play it, you know, good looking, you know, and especially when I have a powerful PC that could probably run it better, you know, like I don't want to feel like, 720p. Like we're at the day and age that's just like 720p is just not acceptable.
Yeah, I've got like a bit of a dirty story, I suppose, about, well, dirty story, no, like a dirty secret about like resolution when it comes to consoles. Years ago, when Halo 3 first came out, I remembered we used to play on like I think it was a component cable or something on Halo 3, so we never had it like in HD. I think we at least had it at 720p though, right? So I guess HD. But I remember one day on my brother's setup downstairs, he bought a proper like 1080p cable or whatever, like HDMI cable to use.
Yeah.
And I remember when he plugged it in, we then like we saw the change on the menu, because on those consoles you could get 1080p but only like on the main menu or whatever. And we saw that and we were like, oh yeah, this looks so good. And then we turned on Halo 3, which I've now heard like will have then downscaled instantly to 720p. But then we spent like the rest of the night going, oh, look at the higher fidelity, look at how awesome this all is. Even though I'm almost 100% sure there was no change whatsoever. So, and I think from that story, I think I'd like to think I would know better now, but from that story, I sort of feel like your general console gamer, especially from like that age demographic, you know, or like mid to late teens, like that, it actually, this whole, it means very little, I think.
Yeah, they don't care, because they're not looking for that stuff. Only the people who are looking at news, and this is a low percentage, you know, of like the whole gaming, everyone who plays games, you know, not everyone is looking up on news stories and what's going on in the gaming world and the industry. There's those people who just go in and they buy a game and they don't really care, except for word of mouth. You know, you have the people that spread the word of mouth like, oh, PS4 has better graphics, and those are the Sony fanboys. And like, I'm not talking about the Sony fanboys, I'm talking about the Sony fanboys that don't really know that they're like why they buy Sony, other than, oh, it has better graphics, quote unquote, you know, those type of guys. And they go in like Sony, like they won't even know the specifics of what the console has, how much RAM it has, but they'll say Sony has better graphics, which it does. But those are the people who will go in and they'll buy any game and say, oh my gosh, it looks amazing, even if like the Xbox version would be better. You know, and that happened a couple of times when it came down to Xbox 360 and PS3. You know, and you know, they'll fight about stupid stuff. I don't know. Play the console you want to play. It doesn't really matter. But
play the console you want to play, but PS4 is absolutely superior, and anybody who says otherwise, well, can go to hell. And I hate you all.
Oh yeah, you totally got a PS4 right now, don't you?
I don't have either.
I'm waiting to upgrade. Like I don't know. Like for me to upgrade, the games have to be there. I'm not gonna buy a console with no games to it, and I'm not gonna play it, and it's not gonna support the channel in any way. I'm not gonna spend $500 on something that I'm not gonna play on the channel. You know,
there are tons of games on the existing consoles that I could play, but I don't. So why would I want a new console, frankly? Yeah, that's my view to it.
I don't even have a console now. All I have is my 3DS, and I have a lot of old consoles. You know, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, you know, GameCube, Sega. You know, I have those like sitting there, and I pop them in every once in a while. Especially my Dreamcast, playing that Power Stone 2. Ah, lovely. And Marvel's Capcom. Crazy Taxi.
Shaking my head right now.
And all those games. All the fighting games, Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, all those. I don't see the urge to buy those. And even if there's something I really, really want to play, I end up just watching a Let's Player do it, someone I really like.
That's like blasphemy. You can't say that.
Yeah, I know.
You can't openly admit that
that
Let's Plays are only used as a way to allow people to play the game without actually buying them. Because that's like one of the only legs Let's Players have to stand on. They say, oh, no, my Let's Play, people buy it. People buy it. These are great for advertising. Don't take my Let's Play off of YouTube.
Well, I'm pretty sure people buy it. I mean, that's why you see the first episode of a Let's Play is always huge
and then
numbers.
The other ones, yeah.
And then the other ones, they drop down by like even almost half, you know? And
lower than that.
Yeah,
it depends
I think
on
you're right.
As people play it.
Yeah, it depends on the game, and it depends on who's taking it. Like, if you really enjoy the guy playing or the girl playing it, then you probably want to see like what happens, or even you play it alongside with them. And I've seen that happen a lot as well, especially if the guys like Chocolate Conroy will go for a 100% completion, and a little trivia here and there, a little hidden stuff, and the people will go back, and it all depends on the game. But yeah. Yeah, definitely. So also, this we could tie this in to Guild Wars 2.
We need like something that's not a bong for these topics, like a
ding ding, like a ding ding.
No, that's too close. It's too close to the bell. What's another sound effect? Come on, you can be like that guy from Police Academy, right?
What's like that guy from Police Academy?
He's the guy from Police Academy that's like amazing at sound effects. Yeah.
I know a guy who at this my old church I used to go to, he made a lot of noises with his mouth, and he was really good with it. He would actually make himself sound like he was on a walkie-talkie and do all the cop noises and stuff. He was also there was something off about him. He was off a little off, and I later found out that he was on drugs, and it messed him up a little bit. And is that the dark twist for this podcast? And that is the dark twist for this podcast.
So where is he now? Is he in like a hole somewhere?
I haven't seen him. I actually went back to Miami, visited my old church, and I didn't see him, so I don't know what happened.
Oh, maybe he's like lost his faith and everything. Maybe he's just like
he's like
helpless at this point.
No, he was married with kids and everything.
What if he's lost his whole family to this addiction?
Oh, that would just be sad. Now you're just making it really dark. Now you're just making it.
She's gonna turn up at your house one day.
Depressing.
You were the only one that was ever there for me. Okay, I'll let you in, but make the sound effects for me. Will you do that? Okay. I can't do the sound effects without the drugs. And he's trying to like go cold.
Oh, it's so bad that we're laughing about this. Oh my gosh. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the crazy topics. Even though you know how EVE Online has these big like battles, and it costs us thousands of dollars. Well, probably a little bit of real money, but like like $100,000, $200,000 worth of just ships being blown up and stuff like that, and lots of crazy stuff of people going undercover and finding out where people hide their ships, and they will go and steal all their loot, and like a year undercover and just destroy ships and stuff like that, like take their crew and destroy ships. Like a lot of crazy stuff. People devote time into EVE Online. They're actually making a novel, graphic novel off of real player stories.
What? That's actually pretty cool.
Right?
Wow, really? Okay.
Right. So like I mean, I really like to get into EVE, and I know people who are, and they're like, oh dude, you should totally come in. I feel like it's just too complicated. It's too complicated for me, and it would just suck all my time. And, you know, a brother has to do other stuff in life other than playing a space game, even though I might lose my life to Star Citizen. So, like, it's funny because a lot of people devote their life to this game. Like, this is all they play. Their life is EVE Online, and, you know, their communities that's built around this. And these guys are sharing their stories and making like a whole graphic novel around it. And
have they released exactly what the stories are going to be, or is it just?
I have no idea. It's a joystick. Let me see. It's an article here, which I'll of course link in the description, because all I have to do is copy and paste, and I don't have to worry about like because I upload this thing early in the morning, and yeah, I get kind of like, okay, I gotta go. I don't know. No, it just says real stories of EVE Online players, and the first issue is out now. Oh, so first issue. It's a 17-page first issue, Thieves Among Us. Oh, that should be one of those twists and turns. That should definitely be one of those twists and turns. So, I think it's like a comic book, graphic novel. I mean, only 17 pages. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, doesn't sound too long, but that's really good because that's like completely in the spirit of what EVE Online is. You know, EVE is all about like the player interactions. The players are sort of the ones that make the stories and the exciting stuff there for that game. And so to make a graphic novel like solidifying exactly what's been going on in the game in that way, I think that's really cool. And that makes it even more exciting in the future. Like people want to make those like cool situations because they're like, yeah, they will tell stories of this one day, and it's like true.
Oh, also, like, I guess I got sidetracked. I said, oh, this applies to Guild Wars 2, and I was going to say it, and then something happened. But the story, what I was going to say was
Amazing.
World of Warcraft level 19 boost for $60. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
$60 for a boost to 90? Yeah.
I would pay $60 to get a boost to 80 in Guild Wars 2.
Hell no. I would not do that. I'm sorry.
I'm lying.
I'm
lying.
I'm pretty sure you're lying. There's no way I would be doing that. Like, I hate leveling in Guild Wars 2, but I won't. I mean, I don't hate it, but like, I don't like it anymore. But I wouldn't pay $60 for that. I could totally do it with gold. Just craft everything to 8. You know, like, if I were to pay to get a bunch of gold to craft myself up to like, I don't know how much crafting puts you up now, but like it's not 80 anymore like it used to be. Probably like around 50, 60 maybe, you know, and do some PvP and then level up that way as well. Which is interesting,
so because if you sink $60 into Guild Wars 2, you get enough gold to craft your way to level 80. Yeah, I would say probably. So you can sort of do it in Guild Wars 2 anyway. Which is weird. I was reading about this a little bit the other day, and people were basically saying, oh, we all expected this to happen, but we didn't expect it to happen before, because you can't get 90 yet, can you? Isn't the cap 85 right now?
I think when the new patch
expansion
comes out,
drops, it goes to 90. Right. And so there's already, hey, you can just pay for this. Like, that's the controversial thing. And the really interesting thing about this story is how communities react at the moment compared to how communities would have reacted, you know, 5 years ago even more. And it would have been, you know,
I think
unspeakable.
I think it's at the point where, well, at least the WoW audience is at the point that it doesn't really matter what they put into the game. Like, I don't know, like people who have, you know, who got tired of it left, and people who like WoW have stayed. And those people are used to, you know, Blizzard doing all this crazy stuff. You could buy mounts, you could buy all sorts of stuff in the cash shop, and you have to pay a subscription fee. Like people who are, you know, like immune to that system, they don't really care if this type of stuff is into the game. No one cares.
I think as well, like a lot of the people who did rage, they did it a long time ago. They're gone. They don't care anymore.
Exactly,
like,
they're gone. So it doesn't even matter anymore. And also, if you buy the expansion pack for $40, you can get a free level at 90 as well. So it's $60 without buying the expansion, and then $40 for the expansion and a free level 90. So, you know, I don't know if it's a ploy to get the expansion.
Are we sure that the cap is going to 90? That sounds so weird to me. So they're basically saying, buy the expansion and you don't have to level.
It might be 95 and whatever.
Yeah, that maybe makes a lot more sense to me.
It might be 95 and then you play the new content to 95. That's usually what they do, I think. You know, I'm not a WoW expert, so forgive me, guys who are WoW experts out there. So, Guild Wars 2.
Just sweep it under the rug. Sweep it under the rug. Wait. Before Guild Wars 2, I wanted to mostly because I want to talk about what I've watched. Have you watched any movies?
Recently,
this is my movie section.
Man, since last week, man, jeez, this week passed by very quickly. Holy crap! Wow.
You got to be careful of that. Here's some life advice for everyone. If you ever feel like a week has passed you by very quickly and you've not dedicated any time to like do something you want to do or like improve your character or something, Be very careful of that, because all of a sudden it's 1 week, and then it's 2 weeks, and then it's 3 weeks, and they rapidly catch up. And this is why people don't change much when they're like 40 through to when they're 60, because eventually you let that stuff slide. So you got to be careful, Matt. You got to be careful. Don't let that happen again. Next time a week's gone too quick, get something in there. Go ice skating, something like that.
Okay. What I almost did was watch Space Odyssey. A 1968 old movie about
with the baby in space, yeah.
Where Hal, the computer guy.
Oh right,
yeah, that's where that
isn't
comes
that the one
from.
with the baby that starts?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I almost watched Captain Phillips, which my friend told me was a really good movie and I should watch it, but I didn't have subtitles, so I had to go back and download subtitles. And then we ended up watching some Tabletop instead. And I also watched some Almost Human, which is a good show. The acting could be a little hit and miss. Yeah, it could be a little hit and miss, but I love it anyway. Good black guy in there. I mean,
I feel like someone, possibly you, described this to me once, and I've already forgotten what Almost Human is.
Yeah, I did. And you said, okay. Oh, that sounds actually really good. I said it was like RoboCop and a little bit of comedy, a little bit of crime solving, and a little bit of police work, all rolled into one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember.
But sci-fi-ish, like they would talk about like sex bots. You know, I mean, come on, you in a sci-fi world with androids, you're gonna run by sex bots. Let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? So
sex bots.
Yeah, like there's an episode about
how many scenes include the sex bots?
The whole episode, the whole one episode. Thank God, I don't want to see too much of that.
Wow, was this just like a knockoff porn version of Almost Human?
It's not that. It's definitely, it's done in good taste. It's not one of those shows where it's just like, oh my gosh, oh, there goes the hot. Well, there's a hot girl. Like they always have to have a hot girl, right? They can't have like just a regular looking girl. Like the girl has to be hot and does police work. Like I don't know. I hate when they do that. I already talked about this last podcast, but like yeah. I also watched this new, very weird show, and I like weird stuff. But as everyone knows, Rick and Morty. It's a cartoon that's really, really funny. Like, okay. So it's so funny. The voice acting is on point for like Morty. It's like, I don't know, I don't want to do this. And he's like always like just like the nerdiest, like he's kind of slow, and I don't know. It's a good show. It's a good show where he basically his uncle is constantly taking him in adventures, and his uncle's like a genius, and he's also constantly going to different universes, going back in time. All this crazy stuff is going on. People are like, the most outrageous, over-the-top things would happen. Like, the world would literally end, dude. Like, in the show. And there would
I don't see how that works as a narrative device.
Exactly. And it would, like, it's just the craziest over-the-top. Like, kids, he would literally murder a kid. And no consequences. No consequences. It's the most outrageous thing, and I kind of love it for it. I kind of love it for it.
It strikes me that you're very quick and easy to watch new TV shows. Like, I'm always really guarded when it comes to watching a new TV show.
No, I hate a lot of stuff.
I get very invested in them though, so I'm like, oh, do I want to watch all of this? So I tend to watch more films than get into new TV shows.
I watch everything. I've watched me and my wife watch from anime, films to all TV shows, and we finished them. Like, I just finished Psych. Why? Well, Psych is on the 8th season, the last season. So we have those. We have like Almost Human and Psych that we watch every month, like every week that it comes out. And of course, Walking Dead, we're almost gonna catch up, but we don't like to start things and have too much
all
stuff.
these spoilers I can tell you about The Walking Dead. I have been watching that since it came back.
No, let's not talk about spoilers.
So-and-so died, and so-and-so was born, and so-and-so was sleeping with so-and-so, and there was a zombie.
The first episode starts so nice and stuff.
Wait, which show is this?
Walking Dead. That to the point, like, you know something is gonna happen. You know something is just gonna twist up. But man, The Walking Dead is exactly like, I feel like it fits that genre very well, and it's sticking to its feel, and I kind of like it for it. You know, like sometimes you watch a show and you feel like it will it will kind of go off the rails and get kind of stale. I feel like The Walking Dead has gotten better.
No.
Each season, yeah. Well, I haven't watched I haven't watched this season. I've only watched the first episode, but I feel like it's gotten better. Even though in the middle of the last season, it was kind of dead a little bit, and nothing happened for a couple times. There are some good moments, and I enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's the best show ever, but it's pretty damn good, I would say.
I feel like this most recent season, I'm sorry to tell you, but someone's gonna have to. It's not really that good. It's.
But you said Sherlock is not good, so I don't want to hear your crap.
No, look, it's par for the course, but like Walking Dead has gone downhill. I promise you, it has. There's a lot more cringeworthy, predictable stuff going on in it, and like they get into a bit of a pattern. I can't talk about it at the moment, but like once you finish it, we'll talk about it. But like, it's getting like there's no more mystery in the show.
Now I don't want to watch it anymore.
I'm sure you will still enjoy it. I think you'll still enjoy it.
Obviously. But yeah, I get to the point now, like sometimes I'm overly critical, and then sometimes I just watch a show just for the sake of enjoying a show, and I like the characters. And I kind of turn my brain off when I watch with Doctor Who a lot, because Doctor Who gets a little stupid sometimes. And
yeah, it's like a kid show,
and that's why
really.
I kind of like
cool.
it. Don't you dare talk about Doctor Who as a kid's show, okay?
What are you talking about? It absolutely is. It's a kid's show that appeals to both audiences.
We're gonna end it there. So, Lion's Arch got destroyed.
Wait,
oh my gosh!
Talk
Spoiler
about the films
alert!
I'd watched.
Oh my god! Oh, what did you watch?
So selfish. So selfish.
I thought you said you watched The Walking Dead, and that's what you watched.
No. Okay, I watched 4 films this week. 3 of them were all the same series, right? Okay. No, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't need to talk about all of them. So I was on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. Actually, I was on Reddit. And there was this thing called live action Toy Story. I'm like, what the hell is this? These guys, like, they look like they're not even out of their teens, right? Made, shot for shot, exactly the same, a replica of Toy Story 1, but entirely with real toys. In real areas, with real cameras, real kids as the actors, the entire film. Like, and it's crazy. It's the most unbelievable thing. And like the toy, like they use some of the movie's voiceovers, like for the toys, but then they use like the actual actors and actresses as regular voices and stuff, and it's all blended together. It's unbelievable. Think about that movie, right? So it starts off in Andy's room. Andy's playing with the toys. So this live action version starts, and it's a kid playing with some toys in a bedroom. And it's like, okay, all right, that's cool. Like, and you see there's real attention to detail, like the little roller coaster ride in the rooms there, the boxes with like the sheriff's house and stuff are on there. Like the wallpaper is the same in the bedroom. Like it's all really, really meticulously detailed out to match the film. But then it continues on, and then like Andy runs out of the room and he goes downstairs, and then it's just Woody's on the bed, and then Woody starts moving, and like what they do it with is like puppets, like they're puppets on strings. It's the entire film, like, and it's amazing. Think about towards the end of the film. These are the kind of shots that are in Toy Story 1, right? And the kind of things that they had to replicate. At the end, where there's like all of the toys doing that. Okay, first of all, there's the dog, Sid's dog Scud. Like, they have an actual dog being Scud, and it looks exactly like Scud. If you think about the end with the chase, they have a scene where there's the moving van, the lorry, is driving away. They have Buzz and Woody chasing it on RC. Like, and then the panel comes down, and then, like, Slinky Dog jumps onto the panel, and it's all, like, this moving stuff with, like, really bad green screen, I will add. But it's amazing! They do it all, and there's like an outtake where they accidentally run over the. It's Toy Story. Is
it worth a watch? Like, is the acting straight?
Some of the acting is not that great. Sid's kid actor is amazing, like really, really good. Like that scene where Woody's like, "We don't like being blown up, Sid. So play nice, and if you don't, we'll find you," or whatever. And like he speaks. He's like, "So play nice." Sid, the kid actor, is amazing there, and he like matches what Sid does in the film word for word. It's like it's really low quality and kind of amateur, but it's an amazing watch. It's so fun. Anyway, I watched that and I was like, I really want to watch Toy Story now. There's something about those films that just sort of get into my head. So I watched all of the Toy Story films, and that's what I did this week. And then last night, okay. I think I'm a little bit late on this bandwagon. Film I really enjoyed. I don't know whether you'd think I would enjoy this, but I watched Frozen. Did you see Frozen?
Really?
Do you want to build a snowman?
I've been waiting for it to come on Blu-ray so I can download it. Yeah.
Dude, it's such a good film. I was like hooked on that film from the prologue.
Dude, like everyone talks about, like all my nerd YouTubers talk about, like black nerd comedy and stuff like that talks about it. And and I'm like, why would he talk about it? And I listen to him. He's like, wow, it's actually a good film. I also see a lot of covers of the songs, so that means the songs are on point as well. So hold on, how many times do they break out into song? Because I don't know. Sometimes it's too annoying for me. Most of the time, I'm fine with it nowadays because they seem to have found a way for it to not be so like obnoxious.
You know, I had a really weird moment. When I was younger, I used to watch musicals, and everyone was like raving about musicals, and I never used
like
to
High School Musical.
No. Like I'm talking much younger. Like any film that has songs in it, and like I never used to be fully on board with it. Like I would tell myself, oh yeah, there's probably something good about this, but I would never really truly enjoy the music sections. I wasn't watching Frozen. There was something else I was watching though that was a musical recently, and it twigged to me that now I really enjoy the music bits in musicals. Like, I very much enjoy the songs, and I'm, like, really into it on a very true level, in a very true way that I never was when I was younger. And so I was watching Frozen, and the songs are very good in it. Very, very good. Like, there's this heartbreaking song at the start where, like... So the story is about two sisters, basically, early on, that have been separated. And, like, one of them wants to keep playing with the other sister, but they can't see each other, and, like, she's constantly begging her through the door, hey, do you want to come and build a snowman or whatever? And, like, the song is so good, and then it ends on, like, this really sad note where... And any movie as well, in a Disney movie, right? Anytime there is, like, a music montage where the characters grow up, like Hakuna Matata in Lion King, those are automatically the best songs ever. And so the prologue of this film is a song where, you know, like, these girls are growing up, and they're constantly separated, and it ends, like, when she's finally an adult, and she's just, like, sat, like, and their parents have, you know, passed away or whatever, and she's like, oh, it's just me and you left in the world, please, you just come out and talk to me, and it's all done in song, and then it ends on that question she asked as a kid, do you want to build a snowman again? That was the prologue, and I was like, because I was like, boom, good.
That reminds me of Lion King, because Lion King is one of my favorite Disney films, right? You know, all those times where I remember certain parts of the movie just because I remember all the songs. You know, when the hyenas are chasing Simba and they're talking and they end with that hyena laugh. Like, and all that stuff. And, oh, I just can't wait to be king and all that type of stuff. Like, all those songs were just, like, so good. So good, and I watched them multiple times. Hakuna Matata, of course, and they all fit well with the actual film. And I guess where I've gotten tired of them is when I got a little bit older, and my little sister used to watch these Barbie movies. You ever seen those CGI Barbie movies? Some of them were in 3D and stuff. I used to watch those because I was interested. Like I like to be interested in what my little sister was doing, and she would watch anime with me, and I got her into anime and stuff. And she was young too. She was a young, so I couldn't show her any of those gory animes that I like so much.
Or the sexy animes.
No, I don't watch that fan service crap, man. I try to stay away from that stuff. I don't like just big boobs in my face all the time. It's so obnoxious. I'm not gonna get into that because some people would disagree with me so hardcore.
One thing I will say
service. Yeah.
About Frozen, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I viewed it in a vacuum. Like, I knew it was a film. I knew some people liked it, sort of. I had a very vague idea of what it was. I decided, right, I'll give it a watch. And I thoroughly enjoyed it because of that.
You saw it at theater?
No. I saw it just the other day. It came out on DVD. So, and I watched it. And yeah. And so I watched it without any understanding of any hype around it or whatever. And immediately after I finished watching it, I was like, oh, I'm putting the soundtrack on. This was awesome. So I started playing it. I started reading some of the comments, and it was just really, really depressing and kind of annoying. Like, I realized that there's this whole fandom around it that have got, and like one of the comments on it that people were saying was like, oh, really? This is all it is? Why does everybody care so much about it? And just immediately I was sort of like, wow, okay, there's clearly a thing going on with this film where a lot of people were raving about it. And so there's probably a lot of people also who say, oh, it's really not that good, just because they got caught up in all this, you know, inane fan stuff instead of just viewing the movie and taking it for what it was. Yeah. Like, if you believe everybody is saying, oh, it's amazing and stuff, you're probably going to come out disappointed because people are idiots and they always hype themselves up like that. So I wouldn't do that. Just try and watch it as, you know, as based as you can.
I try not to
take it for that.
Yeah, I try not to do all that hypeness stuff. Like, oh my gosh, this film is gonna be awesome, because everyone has a different opinion, and I think that's why you usually like follow someone who has the same type of opinions as you and likes the same type of films, right? And you kind of like, okay, if he says it's all right, or if it's really good or whatever, then you could go in like, you know, like, okay, it may be good, I may like it, you know, because sometimes you might disagree with somebody of what they have, but if you have the same type of taste, then, you know, that would work. But yeah, I don't really go into, I don't tear apart a film too much, you know, like I notice stuff a lot, like for instance in Psych, there's shots. Don't you know how if a person would walk, the transition between a cut to another cut, another jump cut, like if someone would walk off the set to a scene, right, like walk out of the door, and then it'll switch to another cut of them just walking out the door when they're already out the door. Yeah, that's what happens constantly in Psych. But like I try to put that, you know, like you kind of turn your brain off and just enjoy it for what it is and what that show is. And yeah, that's what I try to do with films. Like, of course, when it comes down to things like Batman and Superman, Superman 2 coming out, the Man of Steel, and then you have expectations for it. Like that one is just a given. But for things like Frozen, I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. Because you know, like, they're casting just ridiculous people. Even though I think Batman will be fine. What's his name? He directs a lot of movies, Argo and The Town and stuff like that, and he's been very popular with it. Ben Affleck. Yeah. So
well,
I don't
people
know. I
hated
think
that casting.
Yeah, they did, but I don't think it would be that bad. I think what we gotta be worried about is Lex, because Jesse, I don't know if he's a good cast. Like,
there was a time where everyone was like, "Oh, Bryan Cranston has been cast as Lex Luthor."
No, it's not.
And like everyone was hyping on that, and then it was like, "Oh wait, no."
He said I was gonna be busy anyway. That's what he said. So he's like, there's no way. Like he's not gonna do it. And so I don't.
I would seriously doubt that guy would, if he got a legit offer to be Lex Luthor in the new Superman film. I'm sure he would have gone for it. Yeah, but the thing is, he probably doesn't want to be typecast. You know, he's done this one role in Breaking Bad as a bald guy, and now it's like, oh yeah, any bald character, villain or whatever, please, you can be that guy now.
Right, and some people view him as a villain inside of his own show, right? And he could play, like, every time he's Heisenberg, he's that type of guy, or, I mean, he's probably that guy all the time, right? But every time he's this mean character, they're thinking, man, Lex could be totally like villainous with Heisenberg put together. You know, that could be amazing. But I'm pretty sure he wants to do different roles instead of being this mean, you know, guy all the time, or this like, you know, psychopath. Well, I don't know if he was
the reason why he worked well in Breaking Bad was because he was such a strong family man, like, and you could really see him, and that was like his redeeming quality the whole way through the show, like the whole element of family to him, and that's why season 5 is what season 5 is. Anyway, we shouldn't talk about Breaking Bad. Do you wanna move on to
Guild Wars 2? So Lion's Arch destroyed, gone. And that cutscene in the beginning, what do you think about the cutscene? I thought it was low. Why is the cutscenes always low res? Like those type of cutscenes.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's not low res, is it? It's here's something about Guild Wars 2. If you put all of your graphics options on, like including the FXAA they have, which in my opinion is hideous, and the depth blur, those two in particular, implementations of those features in Guild Wars 2, make the game look really blurry. And I think what they did was they captured in-game footage and they were like, all right, guys, this has got to look as good as possible. And then they like turned it all up to max. And then like, even after that, when there was a pretty significant level of blur because of that already, they then clearly went back through and put like a filter over everything, because they like added the black bars at the top and the bottom, which I thought were a little bit too big for the record. But they did that, and then they also I'm sure they like swiped something across the screen to try and give it more of a cinematic effect. And yeah, it looks blurry, right?
Yeah, and there was a lot of screen tearing in some certain sections, especially when the bombs were falling down. I thought it was a cool cutscene, but like it takes me out of the experience. Like when that happens, you know, when screen tearing and it was blurry, and I was like, oh, I want to see this.
I had screen tears.
I had some screen tears going on, and I don't have screen tears at all when I'm playing. So
you think there was what they captured? Well, you can't capture a screen tear. Maybe it was just an artifact that looked like a screen tear somehow in the game.
It was definitely a screen tear, but I don't know. It's it was good. It was good. But anyways, when you finally load in, right after you see that cutscene, Lion's Arch has changed. Now, all right. So what I'm gonna briefly talk about, if you turn your music all the way down and you just listen to the background noise about what's going on in Lion's Arch, you hear screams and yells, and like you just hear the fire and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I had this moment where so you know about the lost heirlooms?
No.
At all?
Oh, you mean when you have to go through the rubble and stuff?
Yeah. So I was doing the rubble. For people that don't know, there's your regular rewards, which I guess we'll talk about at some point, but also there are 2 specific like tonics you can buy. One of them gives you a halo and one of them gives you devil horns. The catch is the selfless and the thoughtless potion. But the catch is with these, they're actually really kind of difficult to get, and you have to log in quite a few days and do some certain stuff. You've got to collect a stack of these things called heirlooms, which you can get like 40 of per day if you do this big run around Lion's Arch where you find these pieces of rubble in the town. So talking about the music, I had this moment where I was listening to just the game client, nothing else was going on. I'm sure some music had been paused or something. And I was getting one of the pieces of rubble that's in like the sewer pipes. Yeah. And from inside the sewer pipes, the sound of Lion's Arch being destroyed, which sounded like all muted. So like in the background, I could hear like explosions in the distance going like, but like really mute, and you could hear the screams of people and the fires. And it really sounded quite distant and like it would while you were outside. And like that was while you were inside like a little area like a sewer pipe. And that was so cool. I thought, wow, this is so ambient. And the only problem with it was it sounded great, and then the second I walked out of the sewer pipe, you'd expect the sound to become a lot fuller. You know, it's no longer muted because you don't have these walls all around you. However, sadly, they don't see, it was just a coincidence that I had that moment in the pipe and I heard it, because when you walk out, that's just the general ambient sounds that you get throughout all of Lion's Arch, even in the open areas.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, like the sound design was awesome. What do you think about like just the way the place looks?
It looks great. And when I was doing the machinima, right, I needed some scenes of Lion's Arch being destroyed because I had made the video. I already had the idea of the video, and I recorded it and everything like that. And I showed you a piece of it over Skype and whatever. And I was like, all right, I recorded footage of Lion's Arch regular, and then of course the Quaggins walking around, and then I got in after the patch came out to record some of the footage there, and I was like, wow, this looks really dang good. Like, it looked good. Like, I mean, really good. I know Guild Wars 2 has very, like, you ever sit back and actually explore some of the world? Like, sometimes I like to go to a certain area that I like. And I enjoy this a lot. It's weird. I go to a certain area in Guild Wars 2, and I'm like, man, this looks really nice. And I do that a lot because I want to search for certain places to record VisualWood and the background for it. And I for this
you had
one,
that same feeling in Lion's Arch.
I had the same feeling in Lion's Arch. And when I took it and I added the color correction, because I added color correction during the machinima, it looked even like better, more grim and more dark. And I was like, wow, it looked really good. And I actually go back to my video and look at those scenes, and I'm like, wow, that's actually
for me. All right, I like the look. I'm gonna be a bit of a negative Nilly here, right? Nilly, yeah,
Nilly,
that's the
Nanny?
British one. Yeah, Nilly.
Nilly?
Yeah, Nilly. Yeah.
Nilly?
I like it. I like the fiery effect that's there. But I also like, and the other thing I really like is a lot of the destroyed buildings have changed the flow of movement through the map, right? So like that old plaza with the extra surrogates that had never been built before, that's now got a hole blown in the back of it, and another one, I believe there's like 2. So now it's like a route through Lion's Arch is a place you'll be walking through instead of like this weird little area that's sealed off except from one entrance. You know, bridges have been destroyed, and this actually forces you to walk around the place in a different way. Like a tower comes down. At the entrance, you can get onto the gangways quite high up. I really like those changes that have changed the way that you run around in the map. But I have to say, I was expecting more destruction. I don't know, like, I like that the bank is still recognizable and it's been smashed open and you've got all the gold coins and stuff in there. But I don't. I wanted more rubble. I wanted it to be leveled a lot more. You know, I really wanted it blown completely away from what we could have recognized as. Like, the thing I sort of vaguely had in my mind was Yak's Bend in Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. In Guild Wars 1, Yak's Bend was this like shanty town that had been built by the refugees of Ascalon as a temporary place. You know, it was primarily wood structures and nothing that would last the test of time. And so it looked in a very specific way in Guild Wars 1. 250 years later, the only recognizable thing about it is the landscape in the area. You know, that's a really significant difference. I'm not saying that destroying Lion's Arch, there should be a difference that exaggerated, because of course there's a huge difference between one attack and 250 years worth of time passing. But still, I just wanted more leveling. Like, in particular, the drill that's now drilling down in Lion's Arch, I really wanted that to just become like this massive crater that would just completely consume most of the map. You know, just this immense hole that you go anywhere near, you fall down and you just die instantly. Just completely changing that area, mostly through the drill is what I wanted to see. Like, there was concept art of this giant hole. I think I talked about it last VisualWood, and that didn't come out. Maybe it will in the future. Maybe next patch, like, it's going to get kicked up the ante a little bit. But yeah, the destruction's cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm being picky.
I've only explored around Lion's Arch. I haven't explored like the whole entire map yet, so I don't know. But for me in Lion's Arch, it looked really good when you come from Gandharan Fields. That part right there looks really, really nice.
Yeah, that area is nice, but then you look at like Fort Mariner and it's like, oh, it's on fire and it's got a little chunk's been blown out of the wall.
Right.
And the test dummies are gone. Or you look at the lighthouses and they are like exactly the same. It's just that there's fire up there and the bridges have got some chunks like cut out of them. There are areas in, you know, the more circular areas of the map, I suppose, or around the outsides, the destruction isn't as intense as I was hoping it would be. And even in the central area with the Mystic Forge, like, man, there should be more gashes in the landscape. It should just be complete, and in a big way, I guess it is. So that middle area is okay, but I don't know. Lion's Arch, if that's how they leave it forevermore, I don't know. I would have been a bit more excited with just a little bit more, because at the moment it's just, oh, alternate routes to vistas, and maybe we'll have enemies attacking us while we're there. But that's just visual. What did you think of the event itself?
It's
I mean,
Zergy.
how much have you done it?
It's Zergy. I've done it a few times. Definitely done it a few times. I thought it was cool. I don't know if I could get into the Zergy combat anymore. I felt like I loved it at once. I mean, I love
Jubilee. You were loving it.
World v World. I love that type of stuff. But like, I feel like this is the type of content, you know, where people just turn off their brain and, you know, they just kind of zerg around, and there's specs flying all over your face. You can't even see what's going on. I need to turn my stuff down. I really do. I just like looking at the world better. You know, I don't like...
My FPS gets so low in Lion's Arch if I max everything out.
Yeah, I get... Yeah, exactly. I get like 15 frames, and I have a pretty decent computer. I have a pretty decent computer. For the specs, you can look in my About thing. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it way too many times. But I have a pretty decent computer. And it has nothing to do with graphics card, and I have the best graphics card, but I also have the best processor, and it's still like I can't run it well. But we've talked about this already. But like it's zergy, laggy combat, and it's fun. It's fun. It's definitely fun, but it's not something I would do over and over again. Like I get tired of it. That's why I only done it a few times, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of done at this. But I do want to get the selfless, and I want to get the selfless potion, and yeah, selfless potion. I think I want the Halo. I guess I could go for both. You could go for both, right?
Yeah, you can if you put the time in. Like, how much time will be running out for you. You can get like 40 a day if you just run the Rubbles and get all of the Rubbles. Right. And then if you ran like 5 of the events as well, you could get 50 a day. So 5 days per potion if you are playing the content properly every single day at reset. 5 days, and then if it's here for 2 weeks, then there is still scope for you to get it, but you'd have to be doing it every single day. On the topic of the combat stuff, like, yeah, it's Zergy. I had this weird moment though. I was just saying about Fort Mariner, like, looks kind of similar. On like my first, maybe second event that I did there, I was at Fort Mariner, and you know, there's this event with the lighthouse guy that's escorting everyone away from the lighthouse. Right. I don't know whether you did that one, but over there, I had this weird moment when I realised wow, I'm doing huge, massive Zergy fighting combat. Like, I had FPS drops when I was on high settings, but I turned them down and I was fine. I didn't have any, like, network lag, and I was fighting on the exact same place with hundreds of other players in the instance all over the map. Fighting against mobs where at the very beginning of the Living World stuff, like last year, where did it all begin? It began with the Karka stuff. And do you remember how bad that event was when they had the Karka attacking everyone at lines up? All of the lag. And like isn't that cool? That all of a sudden, not only are we now in Lion's Arch with way more effects and crazy stuff going on, stuff to fight all over the map, tons more going on in terms of the event instead of just like killing a couple of Karka, and yet there was no network lag at all, and it was overall an incredibly smooth experience that basically had none of the issues that original Karka event had. Yeah. Do you not think that's significant? I think that's what's crazy. I was like, wow, actually really think about this. I'm in the exact same spot before. It was awful before. Look at where they've actually come with the Living World. You know, it began with that. It's ending with something like this. And, you know, if this isn't a testament to the improvements they've actually made, not just to the way they tell the story, which has obviously got a long, long, long way to go, but to the technology behind the Living World and how they're handling stuff and design-wise, like having the event repeat, for example, instead of just a one-time thing like with the original Karka stuff. Like, if that's not a testament to the improvements they've made and potential further improvements, I don't know what is. And like, that really did wow me at that moment. I was like, actually, hats off. Like, as silly as it is to be like,
so this has taken you away from the worm.
Not really, because well, the way the guild I'm in works at the moment is we kill it on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and we got 2 back-to-back kills last Wednesday, which was great. And if we get 2 back-to-back kills on Saturday as well, I think the overall plan, at least a couple of weeks ago, was if we were going to be getting consistent kills all the time, we were going to just turn it into a daily thing where we do a daily worm run, and people don't have to dedicate hours and hours of their life to it. They just have to dedicate, you know, an hour, maybe even less than that, just to kill the worm each day. Sort of like how Blackgate, every day at reset, they kill Tequatl. It'd be like every day we also kill the worm. But no one's really got it to that point yet. I think we're probably the closest. No one else is really killing it as well as we are. And less people are interested in it. But yeah. So, I mean, either I'm doing worm or I'm doing Lion's Arch stuff and the new crafting stuff. Oh, what a segue! What a segue. What do you think of the new crafting things?
You mean the back piece?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
All right, so the back piece, I guess I don't know if I like it or not. Like, I like it.
What?
I like it, but like, not. I don't know, like, if I would wear it like that all the time. Like, it's pretty big. It's wild, dude. And the different colors look pretty nice as well. I would like to get maybe a green or a red one.
So, in my continuing efforts to make my Asura actually look like something that people will notice or recognize in the game, I decided to go for the back piece. I don't know whether I'm filled with regret or not.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
How much did it cost?
Well, here's the thing, right? Do you have any disciplines at 500?
No, not yet.
No, see, neither did I. I never went for Ascended Armor. I looked at the stats. For people that don't know, if you go for Ascended, if you've currently got Berserker's Armor on, and you go for Ascended Berserker's Armor, the benefit you get is less than 1 ruby orb. And it's hundreds and hundreds of gold to get Ascended Armor. And that's the benefit you get. Like, it boggles my mind that people complained about like stat grind and stuff when it came in. Less than a single ruby orb. Defensively, it gives you more, but yeah. So, I never went for Ascended Armor. However, to create the back piece, and I do think in concept ArenaNet did well with this, they basically said, okay, this isn't going to be like just a Mystic Forge recipe. There's a lot of Mystic Forging to do with it, but it's going to be tied to actual crafting. And I think that's really important that Living World encourages people to do actual crafting, because for most MMOs, crafting is a part of the end game. Crafting should be a way to make money. You know, you go out, you gather stuff, you sink the time in, you craft, you make money. Like, that's a thing you can do in most MMOs. It's kind of rare to do it in Guild Wars 2, or kind of annoying to do it in Guild Wars 2. So I liked that, hey, they did this update and they're encouraging you to do crafting. But because it's an ascended item, you need to get to 500 crafting. That cost me a lot of money. That cost me anywhere between 50 to 75 gold just to get to 500, which I found really tedious and boring, and I don't like the crafting in Guild Wars 2. I've come to terms with, like, I just don't enjoy it that much. Got to 500, that was already quite a lot of money.
Use a guide like everyone else.
Yeah, even with a guide, it's just, if you use a guide, what does crafting become? It becomes a time sink and a money sink. There is no excitement of discovering things or piecing stuff together. It's just literally, these are the ingredients you need, go and buy them on the trading post or walk around and get it from the karma vendors, and here is how you combine it together.
Do you want it to be like quote unquote fun, which means harder to actually get these things done? What if you had to spend hours and hours and hours?
I think the whole
mostly
UI
people
is bad.
do. That's what most people do because it's harder, it's fun, and that's why you say you like the worm. And that's why people think...
It's not hard. This isn't hard. Nothing about this is hard.
Of course, it's not hard because... And that would make it, quote-unquote, not fun. But if they made it harder, that you had to do a quest in order to get this recipe, in order to continue on with your crafting, that would be more fun to you for more of a time sink?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm sort of breaking one of my like golden rules here. I'm complaining about something without having a solution in mind, which is like really bad. But like here's what, like look at chefing, right? Cooking in the game. Mm-hmm. There are so many ingredients, so many delicious looking things, so many different cool stuff, types of consumables you can get out of it. Tons. It's this really complicated, awesome matrix of things. However, to like max my cooking out because I want to get a character to level 80, all I do is go online, look at a guide, spend a bunch of time wandering about, going to karma vendors that I don't really care about, completing heart events that I don't really care about, to get all the ingredients, to then go back to the trading post, buy the stuff, combine it together, and I'm done. Like, there really is no fun value there, despite the fact that they have a lot of very cool items and a lot of potential for it to be fun. And I just think the whole crafting system as it stands is just very tedious, and I don't enjoy it. And I don't think it has a solid enough presence at endgame, or a fun one at that. Anyway, I got to 500, which basically, by the way, is a process of buying a bunch of insignias or crafting them on the trading post and just making exotics for ages and ages and ages and ages until you do it, and it's just a huge gold sink. And then I made the back piece. So what you do with the crafting is you make what's called the gift of blades, and this costs a whole bunch of stuff, including 15. So I did tailoring. This is another problem, right? It's really cheap to make it if you're an armor smith or a leather worker, but if you're a tailorer, it costs like a ridiculous amount of money, and I was tailoring, so I had to spend like 150 gold, even more than that if I hadn't been crafting my own damask before that, just to buy these mats so that I could then create the gift. And then you take it all to the Mystic Forge and you keep upgrading it. And I do look cool.
50 gold. So that's on top of
yeah.
The
so
50.
It was like over 200. I liquidated my bank. I sold all of my Flame and Frost eyes. I sold my chainsaw from like just the sword version from Halloween.
Flame and Frost eyes. You had those?
Yeah,
those are like
I had
100 gold each.
Yeah, I had to sell it all, man, to get the money. I had to sell it all.
But you just like a couple months ago, you had like over 700 gold. What
but I've been okay. So as a part of the worm, I've been gearing out like most of my characters with full ascended / exotic berserkers gear, so that I can test how well the classes go, and like do different builds and things. And it's just my money just dropped down. You know, it's like when you have a lot of money, you spend it, and you can be irresponsible. So yeah, I spent a lot of money.
Wow,
like that.
That's
like,
ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing: if you want an ascended back piece anyway, like it's going to cost you about 100 gold, unless you're doing the fractal back pieces and you do tons of fractals, because you craft it in the Mystic Forge with like say claws or whatever, and they cost about 100 gold. So like I've done that for 3 different characters recently, and that alone is 100. I would say you're going between 40 and 50 for all the other exotic stuff, consumables, you know, the works. It takes a toll. Anyway, I've now got the back piece. I'm sort of happy with it, sort of. And I still feel like my Asura is too small, and it doesn't matter that I've got it. And I also get a little bit depressed now when I see all these other people with it. I'm like, no, I did this. I spent all this money to be a snowflake, and everybody's got it. And it's like...
That's Guild Wars 2 in a nutshell with everything, pretty much, even the legendaries.
Yeah.
Because there's no like... like crazy boss thing. Oh, well, they do have the worm, but you've been like devoted. I mean, this Weepy has been Weepy WP.
I like it. Weepy.
Weepy has been devoted to the worm, and you still haven't gotten an exotic. Like ArenaNet, we need to talk to ArenaNet. I mean,
you mean an ascended item?
Yeah, you still haven't got like one of those ascended items, and you did the Quado a couple times as well, and you still didn't get an ascended item from that either.
No, I didn't. I'm pretty
like,
everyone
wow.
says it, but I'm pretty unlucky, I feel like. I've had some...
There you go.
The worst thing about RNG is it turns me into a bit of a monster because I'm never happy... Like, if I see someone else gets an ascended thing, I'm very, really happy for them. I'm like, for God's sake, I put so much effort into this, give me one, you know? Like, and that's such a horrible thing to be like, but I feel like a lot of RNG just, in general, that seeps into communities after a while. But they did up the rates on the ascended stuff last worm, so... And I've only ran it once since then. I only killed it once since then, so maybe the rates are a lot higher now. And we'll see how that goes. What else do you want to talk about for Lion's Arch? I've got some more topics. Bong.
Bong. Keep going.
You ready?
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't even know this was going on until it affected me. Again, this is on the topic of the worm. It's a great segue. I didn't really need to bong. Did you know Guild Wars 2's been getting DDoSed?
What?
Yeah, like, it's been a part of the server cluster or something that's been targeting MMOs, like those guys that... I can't even remember their name, and I'm so happy that I don't know their name, because they only do it because they want people to know who they are. But it's, this group of people have been DDoSing all of these MMOs. We were doing the worm, we spent like 4 hours setting up on one run. Like, we skipped a run just to set it up, and the moment it triggered, this was like last week or something, and all of Guild Wars 2 went down, or the entire game. Like, and this is something that I never really knew was going on, but apparently it happened on New Year's Eve as well. Have you like never been a part of it when it's happened?
No.
See, and I've been lucky and kind of avoided it too, but man, and that really, really kind of winds me up. I don't know whether it's still happening or whether they've stopped doing stuff, but it brought down a bunch of TeamSpeak, stuff like that. This isn't really a great topic, to be honest, but yeah. It's out there, guys, so be careful. Prepare for getting DDoSed, which you can't prepare for.
I wonder why. Well, what's the point?
The point is for lols, and so that everybody knows us, and bored people that think they're cool. That's literally all it is.
What place do you have to be at in your life for that to be like okay for you? I guess those are the same type of people who are basically live their life in DayZ just to kill people, like just murder people, and not just like just shoot, but like manipulate them and like kill them while they steal all their stuff and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I've seen some evil people.
I can see why people do it. It's because for a while you get to be a big deal, don't you? Like, I can totally understand the mentality of people doing it. Yeah, but they don't care because it's, you know, it's something fun to them. It's like a project to them. It's, I can see exactly why people would do something like that. Not that I would do it myself, but I don't find it that hard to, you know.
Yeah,
see
for me, I'm just like, I don't know what I don't get it. That's funny. Yeah, PvP, sure. Like, yeah, shooting people, whatever, dude. Like, but like, so I've seen some weird stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is a little bit of evil,
Here's something weird I've just noticed about my hand. Okay, hold your hand out in front of you, right? Palm facing away from you, all fingers together, up, right? If you look at the tips of your fingers, your middle finger comes out higher than all the others, right? Everyone listening can do this too. Yeah, no, your middle finger's high.
My middle finger's shorter.
What? No way, you're lying. No, that can't be true. Yeah, okay, right. And then the next one is your ring finger, and then the next one's your index, and then you got your little finger, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have your palm facing you, and then close those fingers down sort of into a fist. Why is your ring finger now the furthest one, like the tallest one?
No.
It's not, really?
No.
If you lay them flat out over the bottom of your hand.
Oh, if you lay them flat. Oh, yeah, you're right.
What's that happen? What is this? Oh. And I can't like shift it to change it.
Oh my gosh.
I've been doing it all podcast. I'm like, what is this? This is so weird.
Wow. I'm glad that's what you were doing while I was talking.
Learn about your bodies on VisualWood podcasts.
Yes. Oh, we're adding another section. Learn about your bodies.
Yeah, next time we'll be talking about how to move your ears. So we'll go for that when the time comes.
Or purity next time on VisualWood.
Free stuff, bong, in the gem store. Did you know that you can get 400 gems for free by filling in a survey on the Edge of the Mists?
What? Really? Tell me how I can do it.
Wow, dude, you should be on TV. It's amazing. You fill out a survey. I already told you how to do it. I don't know where the link is, so you can find it. No, I'll give you the link
at www.freegems.com.
And then the other thing as well is there are free mini pets on the gem store right now, and they probably won't be by the time the podcast comes out. But yeah, they gave away free minis. Did you get those?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so just log in game, free mini pets from season 2, which is actually quite nice because I've had like no minis from the second set 2, I should say. We shouldn't complicate terms. But yeah, so they're doing pretty good. They're giving away a lot of free stuff lately. It feels like most days there's something free on the gem store that's just encouraging people to click it for some reason, and I suppose because they want to earn a bit more revenue.
Oh man, yeah. It has had this weird concept. It's like, here's free. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. Someone's just giving away free stuff. I don't know. It's just weird. A weird.
Was it Salad Fingers giving away that free stuff?
Yes, pretty much.
Amazing.
Can you check what's wrong with my oven? My oven. It seems not to be working. And then the kid goes inside of the oven. It's like, oops. And then he falls asleep. And then he wakes up to see that the kid was still in the oven and was trapped.
Oh my
in there.
god! Yeah, I remember that about Salad Fingers.
Yeah,
dude, that was a weird time for the internet.
It was, and there's a bunch of Flash things going on, a bunch of Flash cartoons, a bunch of Flash games. Like that was a thing.
Badger, mushroom, snake. It's a snake.
There's lots of stuff. Or slap the monkey. I like when you slap my monkey. Slap my monkey. Slap it. Slap it. Slap my monkey. And he just keeps going on and gets louder. And he goes, and he like, yeah, it's creepy. Very creepy. But yeah.
Okay. Well, there was that. So,
okay.
yeah. Salad Fingers, by the way, did have a new video came out just a couple of months ago.
Really?
It's Salad Fingers number 10 called Birthday. Came out just before Christmas.
Did you watch it?
No, I just YouTubed it just now.
I don't think I want to watch it.
It only has 1 million views.
Only?
Well, for something so old that clearly went massively insanely viral for so long, you'd think the newer episodes would be, well up there, right?
Viral back then was different to viral now. Like
was
viral,
it? On certain websites it was, but like, I think
there's videos that went viral, old videos. Check out some old YouTube videos that went viral years ago.
The history of dance.
And then check out viral videos that happen now, like
250 million views.
Like Gangnam Style, and well, that's over time. That's over time that went up there. But other viral
you're right.
videos,
Actually, Gangnam's on over 1 billion. It's almost 2 billion.
There's music videos these days that are not even considered viral, but they're just like, there's a bunch of fans that people keep rewatching it over and over again, and they're like they get 300 million like every big video, like all artists do. Not all artists, but you know the ones like Katy Perry, Beyonce, all those guys. Well, I don't know about Beyonce, but like those guys, they get 100 million hits easy, like easy. I don't understand how that's even possible.
Well, it's songs people continuously rewatch. If you release a song,
the revenue.
Yeah, all right.
Just think about
Don't
the
let
revenue.
your greed show. Don't let your greed show.
Just think about the revenue that they're making right now, dude.
It's ugly.
It's
we should do a song. You write music, right?
Yeah, sure.
I can't sing, but I wish I can. Like when I was watching Frozen, Frozen like makes me desperately want to be able to sing. I'm always singing to myself, but I'm such a bad singer. Like, and I hate it. I would love to be able to sing those songs. Oh my god!
You should totally sing the lore. That should be another series that's coming out to your channel. That's totally not related to other stuff that'll be coming out your channel later on. Sing the lore. Dude, that is the idea. Someone picked that up.
If I could,
that's $1 million right there. That's $1 million right there. Are you gonna do it?
If I was a girl as well, if I was a girl that could sing, I would do maybe something like that. I think that'd be amazing.
Like.
But I'm neither, so that sucks. I think I can sing certain songs. Certain songs I can sing.
We could totally like partner up with somebody. We write it, and then they'll sing it for us.
Dude, yeah. What's going on, guys? Was there a remix at the start of this podcast?
The last one, yeah.
Well, yeah, but why was there no remix this podcast? Guys, we're talking about doing songs and stuff. We need like some backtrack, yeah? Can someone give us... or someone else... We just talk and someone else makes us sing through auto-tune and stuff.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Or I can talk sing,
dude,
and it will be wonderful.
if you make anything that's related to me or Winning Potatoes, please send it to me. Like,
no, there's all this stuff that's just not linked to
I look at everything. I look at everything. Like all those pictures you guys send me and everything. I love those things. So like, don't worry about me being weirded out. I don't get weirded out easily. So don't worry. You know, put your deepest, darkest thoughts into your pictures and send it to me. And actually, no, don't do that. Some of you guys are really crazy.
Well, do you wanna talk about the guy that scares you most? No,
that doesn't exist. Okay, we never talked about that. Right. Okay. So, anyways, oh my gosh, is that it?
No, with questions, dude. We haven't even started.
We haven't even started. 1 hour and 40 minutes in. We haven't started yet. This party's just getting started.
Stick about. Get yourself some champagne.
So lay on me that first question, Tatos.
Okay. All right.
Lay it on that butter spread.
XX not crafter XX says, "Hey WP and Matty Visuality.
Wow.
Would you like Raven-like sleuthing, detective work, and, as WP would call it, MacGyvering in Guild Wars 2? Let me be clear, okay? MacGyvering is the process of combining your credit card with your phone charger to escape from jail. That's MacGyvering. It's like combining random items in your vicinity together. And yeah, Raven had a lot of it. I feel the sole problem with this would be data miners spoiling who the big villain behind it all was. Maybe ArenaNet can incorporate some mystery solving into finding out who E is. What are your thoughts on this topic? P.S. I'm on your side for Kazmir's death, Matt." Wow, people are rooting for Kazmir to die. That's really nice.
To die?
And you're like their figurehead. How does that make you feel?
No. Oh, no. They want her to die so they can see how she looks like without her illusions on.
Okay, that's kind of rude.
That's pretty much
quite crass.
What are you talking about? That's what we talked about last.
I know, but I wasn't on board with that the whole time. I was deeply offended.
Deeply offended. Oh, because
my
you're secretly
12-year-old son plays this game, and I don't want any inappropriate stuff like that even being mentioned.
All right, I'm gonna go release a big secret. Winning Potatoes is actually a girl. So what he uses is a vocal effects processor, right? You can buy those, you know. You can buy an inexpensive one, right? About $100, and he can change his voice to make it deeper. This is totally possible. And
yeah, I've actually just recommended it to Matt, who's now changed his audio setup to have a new mixing thing, so he can do it. So next podcast,
mixing thing. Yeah, you totally told me all that information, right?
Yeah. I gave you all these links. This guy with like no eyes or whatever that was doing it.
Oh, dude, that was the creepiest thing. Okay,
don't say that. Don't, because that's rude. That is genuinely rude.
Oh, that is kind of it, dude. All right, come on. It's a little creepy, dude. It is a little rude. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I had something like that, I would, you know, I would feel kind of conscious. I would feel conscious. I would really feel conscious about that. And I feel conscious about a lot of stuff that I have as well. I mean, so, you know, but his is a little bit more.
Is that why you're always wearing hats?
What are you trying to say? I have a big head or something? What are you trying to say? What you getting at, dog? What you getting at? Yeah, that's right. I'm going a little black. What up, son?
Oh, it's a lot more intimidating. I'm scared now. I'm scared. Let's just go on to the question.
All right. Well, like I was looking up a bunch of reviews and stuff for like, cause I was upgrading my setup, and I found this guy who, like, I don't know if he's blind or not, but his eyes, I don't, like, something's wrong with them. I don't know. I don't know.
Talking about this?
Okay, all right. I just want to explain what it is. I don't like when people go like touch on something and they totally just like don't tell about it, like what it is and stuff like that.
Okay, fair
enough. We also sent a one that was pretty hilarious of this guy acting like there was this Yamaha commercial thing. And basically it was voiceovered, but the guy was acting like he was doing the voiceover, and it was so bad lip sync.
Yeah, that was the worst.
I was laughing by myself in a room. When something makes you laugh by yourself, it is, you know, it's probably funny. So I'm gonna link that so you guys can enjoy the epicness that is that guy, like smiling, big old cheese on his face, and he's trying to act like he's doing the voiceover. It's pretty hilarious.
Do you remember the question?
The The question was,
as he looks in his
the Raven question. So
yeah. So what do you think? All right, it's a nice idea, but I don't think this has to be like a specific initiative for ArenaNet to start going, oh, we want to go all detective-y. They just need to start adding more real hints and
variety to the gameplay when it comes down to living story.
Yeah, you know, I think they're doing okay a little bit. A lot of the stuff that we've seen with Marjorie so far is quite detective-y. You know, she is a private investigator. A lot of the content could go sort of along the line of the Raven stuff, but I think long-term as well, there need to be hints that are dropped pretty much every update, hinting at things much further on down the line of the living world. Like, E is a great example. The mystery with Keith is a great example, but I'd like to see a little bit more. You've ever played Professor Layton?
Dude, that's one of the things on my list. They're so expensive. The first one is so expensive, and I feel like I have to start from the beginning. Should I have to start from the beginning? No,
I think they're all self-contained stories. I don't think I played the first one. I played one called The Golden Apple. And this game is... It's like it's a game
Puzzles.
where you're playing as a character, you walk around a town, this specific one, and you keep answering puzzles from all these people. Like, it's a town of people who love puzzles is the excuse, right? So the game itself is lots of little puzzles and riddles and things, but there is an overarching story that is a detective mystery story that you are slowly unfolding the entire time. And I think that longer narrative arc, like that overarching story and mystery that's going on, is what Guild Wars 2 needs to tap into a little bit more that they currently don't. And of course, I would love a lot more of that. I'd love more specific gameplay where we're sleuthing around and, you know, in back alleys trying to talk to people and persuade NPCs to give us directions to other NPCs and things. Like, that'd be awesome, but...
Maybe some good use of Divinity's Reach. Oh my gosh, dude. You ever walked around and just went inside all the houses and stuff? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would love... Did I talk about my idea for, like, a dating game ever on the podcast?
No.
I think I might have at some point, but like I've always loved the idea to get people to go to cities of you'd be able to pair different NPCs up like around the cities, so it'd be like a mini game, and you'd speak to one, and the girl would be like, "Oh, I really love salt," and then you'd speak to a guy on the other side of the city, and he said, "Oh, I really love pepper," and their names are like Salt and Pepper or something like that, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, you two go together," and it's like ding, and you get like an achievement or whatever for it, and you got to like pair all of the NPCs up or something, anything like that, right?
Sounds very casual. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does, but it gets people going to those areas, doesn't it? You can have a
sure
leaderboard,
does.
and then look, here's a fact of life. Anything that's casual, the second it gets a leaderboard, is no longer casual because the people at the top have dedicated their lives to it. Give me an example of something with a leaderboard that is still casual.
I cannot.
There you go.
At the top of my head, because I don't play casual games. I'm an elitist, son. You.
Sounds pretty casual. You should come back to Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah. Mystery solving for E. Next question is from Thane, who says, if you could go back in time and meet yourself before... Why have you highlighted the question marks in this?
Because that's the way I search for questions.
Oh, okay. If you could go back in time and meet yourself before Guild Wars 2's launch, what would you tell your past self about the game? Buy precursors. I mean, practically speaking, to help me with the game. Buy precursors, buy Halloween stuff. Don't get impatient when I want to make my legendary and sell everything like I just sold on my account. I'm sure there were other minor things that I learned at launch that would have been really, really good to know. Like, there's loads of exploits and stuff that you see on the patch notes, and you're like, wow, that was an exploit? Okay.
Yeah, all right. I'm not going to lie. Those exploits, if I knew them ahead of time, no one knew but me, I would have abused that thing. I'm going to say
I found an exploit at launch. Did I tell you about the money exploit I found?
No.
We're getting to the point where I think I've said a lot of stuff. Hopefully the audience has forgot, though. I found an exploit at launch in Brisbane Wildlands. No. What am I talking about? Blaze Ridge Steps. I'm pretty sure it was Blaze Ridge Steps. Bottom. You know, there's that char area like Blaze Ridge Steps. The very south, there's a river, and there's a heart quest where you grab these fish and you've got to like lure these drakes into a net. Do you know where I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, south of the brand or whatever.
I like that one. Yeah.
There was an NPC you could speak to after you finished the heart quest who would sell you. I can't even remember what it was anymore, but they would sell you like pepper or something, right? And he would sell it to you for... No, it wasn't the chili pepper thing. No. It was like it was just some random item, but he would sell it to you for like 20 copper, and then you could sell it back to him for like 25 copper. And so literally, you could do like a click spam, and you could be like, oh look, I filled my entire inventory with stacks of these things. Sell. Oh look, I've just boosted my money by 50%, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. And I'm pretty sure we were the only people who knew about it when it came out, but we were instantly like, bug report, and then we ignored it completely. Because the risk is too great of losing your whole account over something like that.
Yeah.
And obviously it destroys the economy, but there was stuff like that all over the game. There was never any word of that being fixed in patch notes. There was never any dev that talked about it. There was never any controversy from loads of people getting banned. It was just an exploit that we privately told the devs about, and that was it. And imagine how many instances of that there really were after Guild Wars 2 launched all over the game. Loads, I would imagine.
Definitely.
And,
it's such a big game, so you can't really, you know, fix every single thing. Something's going to get mixed up. Someone messed up and, you know, spilled coffee over their keyboard, and all of a sudden the 5 got pressed in instead of the 0 to sell it back. So, you know, stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I was totally joking about actually using the exploit. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't break the game. I wouldn't, you know, sacrifice the economy for my own gain. I'm not that selfish. So yeah.
No, you do it on an alternate account, and then you trade the money across.
Don't use our techniques. Don't say our techniques on the podcast.
Oh, sorry. Oh my god, I forgot we were still recording. Whoops. Speaking of Pepper, this is a complete coincidence, or maybe I'm a little bit psychic. Pepper Lightning says,
oh my gosh.
Question. Says, hello guys, I have something that is bugging me. You know the mini pet arena in Lion's Arch? Well, seeing that always gave me the hope that one day we would have mini pet battles. Now that LA is being destroyed, it is looking like that may never happen. How do you guys feel about being able to use your mini pets in other ways than just for show?
I definitely would have loved pet battles, but since you're psychic, what do I eventually do to get big muscles?
Muscles?
Mm-hmm.
You start working out. You hit the protein powder.
Mm-hmm.
You start bulking, and then you start
I was gonna
cutting.
say YouTube, but I decided to change it to muscles. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But that would have made me seem so I don't know. Dude, what's the word for? There's a word for that.
Vain, but I'm pretty sure, like, you know. Actually, I can't say that. No, never mind. Never mind.
Never mind.
What do you think seriously about mini pet battles?
Oh, okay. So mini pet battles. I feel like they look at that, right? I'm pretty sure it's been said around, and they're like, we're not gonna do mini pet battles because that's too much like WoW, because they're constantly trying to make themselves different from everybody else. Like, oh, we have dynamic events, we have this, we have that. You know, we're totally not a grinding game. We're totally not like every other MMO. You know, like I feel like they would totally stay away from that. Maybe if they come up with a nice system that's not like Pokemon or anything like that, maybe like I wouldn't have managed. Could you see them like doing something like, because you know you could take certain costumes in Guild Wars 2 and you could do certain attacks. So maybe you could turn into your mini pet or certain mini pets and actually battle. And
I think that'd be pretty lame. I don't know.
Yeah, like in real time.
Yeah, well, the thing is, right, after they added Costume Brawl actually has a lot of overlap with what traditional mini-pet battles sort of could have been like. You know, a different item, there's loads of different varieties of them. They transform you into something, or they release something, and it's got its own unique set of abilities and stuff. Like, it's pretty similar. So whatever they eventually did do for mini-pet battles, if they added, would have to be really distinct from A, Costume Brawl, and B, what other MMOs do, like, in doing so at the same time.
Yeah, and how many people would play it once it's launched? And you know, every time we go into what things they can add into the game, we always go to like, oh, if it's important for them to do it and blah blah blah. But like, all right, we should take the question as a fun thing. But the thing is, like, how many of you guys would play it if they put it in, and how much time would they spend on making the game? Like, if they make anything like mini pet battles, fishing, or any of these, you know, like side things you can do separate from the actual main gameplay, I think it has to be tied into everything else. And of course, it has to be tied into achievements. Obviously, it would have to be like you have to get certain items from it that would help you in your regular quest to get, I don't know, legendary, ascended armor, you know, like little things that you can use in, you know, in your main quest, or furniture for your home instance, which would never be good because they don't want to do anything to it.
I think if they add many pet battles, it's sort of the same with Costume Brawl. People will do it as long as there are achievements for it. If there was like an infinite Costume Brawl achievement that was pretty hefty to go for, people would be doing it a lot more, and it would be a big staple of what the game is. And I think that's the same for mini pet battles.
I think it'll be the same effect as MOA racing. Like,
no, because MOA racing is like a really specific thing you could only do in LA or whatever, while Costume Brawl and presumably mini pet battles you could do anywhere while waiting for any content. And some people still do MOA racing, but MOA racing had like no achievement incentive almost, and very little in the way of rewards. Just a couple of items that could also be bought on the trading post. So that's why people didn't do much MOA racing.
I'm saying they'll add it in, and they'll be like, and people will be like, oh, okay, and then move on. But if you could actually see it, like if you could battle and people actually see you battling. And it all depends on how they do it. It all depends on the execution. If you could see people battling, you can see like there's something gained. There's some type of progression system. You know, I can totally see it being a thing, like something random that you can do. And I could totally see some, you know, some videos coming out of this if the system, like it could be a simple system, but then have some type of cool mechanics around it if you have the skill for it. Like it doesn't even have to be like this whole elaborate, all these different attacks and stuff like that, like Pokemon is. But it could be like a simple system, kind of like how Hearthstone dumbed down cards, card TCG. You know.
I've actually heard, on like why we don't have it in the game, I've heard multiple times through the grapevine, through multiple different people, that the reason we don't have mini pet battles, despite the fact like that arena's there, for example, in Lion's Arch, which by the way has now like been completely knocked off its mooring and is destroyed and stuff. The reason why is Guild Wars 2 launched around the launch of Cataclysm for WoW, and Cataclysm was when they added many pet battles. It's when they added, and I've heard that like the reason was they had a very rudimentary form for Guild Wars 2, but it was completely outclassed by whatever WoW did, and they were like, okay, we'll have to leave it then, and then they decided to stop development on it. So that's like why it was sort of an initial concept or something. Don't forget there's another game as well.
These guys are doing it, so we shouldn't do it.
No, well, I can understand that, dude.
It's like YouTube. It's like, oh, this guy's doing it, but everyone copies, like...
Well, unless you can do it better than someone else, then why do it? I can totally understand.
Yeah, I can do it better than someone else. That's why I do it.
Yeah, but they couldn't. They couldn't with that. So this is why. And like, don't forget, guys, as well. There's Polymock 2, and these perhaps could have been distinct mini games at one point, or whether they'll ever eventually be added. Like, there's that whole arena in Ratasum. Like what form they come in will just be totally up for grabs. But I don't even think it's on their minds at the moment for when these things come. And also on just the idea of minis, yeah, minis should be able to do more than just for show. Maybe like some games they can collect loot for you and stuff where there's actually a thing. Guild Wars 2, it's really not relevant. The main thing minis need, everybody knows it, is we need a mini slot. Just like we have a finisher slot, we need to be able to choose what mini we have, and it's just out. That's what we need. And with the Thoughtless and the Selfless potions too, frankly, they need their own slot as well. Like, these are in-combat tonics that you should be able to have permanently, but it's going to be a real hassle to constantly be double-clicking them, unless they have, like, 24-hour duration or something, and that would be pretty cool, but I don't think they will. Okay, ready to move on?
Yes. Dong.
Dong. Okay. Super Caraxo says, hey, Matt. Oh, this is just for you, then. Okay.
No, what do you mean?
No, I'm skipping it. It's not on, is it? Hey Matt, since there's so many robots, automatons, animatronics, robot-like creatures, do you expect a robot species as a playable race in future expansions? Could be awesome.
I absolutely think Robotron could be a playable race.
Oh yeah, we never talked about that. What do you think? He's in the new patch, you know that, yeah?
Right. Helotron.
Yeah. It's good.
Man. Yeah,
Minstrel's not about.
So I like how they keep putting him. He died. He probably died.
Okay.
Huh? Wow.
That's kind of sad. That's pretty sad.
What do you mean? He was just a beast.
Just a person, just a deadbeat, Wow, what are these comments? What are these comments?
Wait, dude, come on.
Such rudeness.
Let's be honest. He was
His life
jealous.
is just as valuable as yours.
He was jealous that Hobotron was awesome. Okay?
It's a robot.
Robo was the boss. Dude, robots would eventually replace us. Okay? We're going to make robots, and they're going to be smarter. They're going to be
Can't we
better
become
at
the
everything.
robots?
Yeah, and that's the only other option. That's the only other option. Or that they're just going to trap us, and they're going to put us in jails, and we're going to be the pets. We're going to be the ones eating dog food out of a plate, a bowl. You know
Did you see Google's latest project on this topic? Did you see it?
No.
They're doing this thing. One of the biggest things with navigation for robots has always been that they can like have a camera attached to them, but in computing they've only ever been able to assess what the camera shows them. We as human beings extrapolate on the information our eyes give us to give us a general sense of where we are. So for example, you're walking down a corridor, you only see a slice of that corridor with your eyes, but your brain knows the dimensions of the corridor and what in general is about. It can tell that there's a corner there and you could probably turn left. Your brain is doing that. There's a lot more that your brain interprets what your eyes see. Robots have never been able to do that very well, so navigation's always been a big issue. Google's like next big thing, like this whole self-driving cars and stuff like that. They've like developed this thing like it's a new type of phone, and the phone does what our brains do with our eyes, except it does it with the camera. So it can be walking down a room or whatever, held up, and the computer inside it knows everything that's going on around it. In general, it's not really something that excites me that much, but it is like probably a big step for robotics. And
how much faith do you have in like, because I've looked up a bunch of stuff about robotics. I've seen the Honda robot run really fast. Well, that's nothing actually. I just saw this this huge robot. It looks like Metal Gear. It looks like one of the Metal Gear designs. Yeah.
Is it a killer
Metal Gear Solid that runs, and it looks like a mutated, like half organic thing. It looks so weird, and it runs very fast. It runs like
the uncanny valley. Yeah.
I think it runs like is it a jackal? It runs with that little hop, like a little hop. Yeah, and it it has 2 legs in front and 2 legs in the back, and it kind of pushes itself forward.
What was your original question though? How much faith? What?
How much? Yeah, how much faith do you have in like a car taking over when you're driving?
A lot.
Really?
Tons. Yeah.
You wouldn't think that there'll be a glitch and then you'll just like go off road and
there's this
spin
thing,
off the
right?
highway and then just fireball right down to the ground and explode. And
planes at the moment, planes are like mostly like there's a big debate, right? A big controversy, big thing going on in like aeroplanes and things like this, where people are saying, look, computers have got to the point where they are good enough to fly a plane entirely on their own. What is the point in having a pilot? And like, there's a big discussion to be had whether humans should be able to stay there and have their input, or we should just dedicate entirely to the machines. And one of the biggest parts of that debate, I believe, is the fact that statistically, the only time, like, ever planes crash is because of human error. Like, computers never make mistakes. Computers don't get tired. Computers don't get jacked up on caffeine. Computers don't get emotional. Computers are maths, they work, they don't fail, right? Like, and while people do, and it's like, human error is way, way, way bigger of a thing than once you've actually got the systems running for these computers, then yeah, I would put my life in their hands for self-driving cars, stuff like that. Once it gets there, absolutely. I think they're way more trustable than humans are. And that's a dangerous thing to say as well if you follow the plot of any like futuristic apocalypse movie. The robots are awesome, they'll never kill me. They're so amazing.
And then you die.
All my faith in the robots. But yeah. Anyway, the question: Do you think there'll be one in Guild Wars 2?
What, a robot? No. I come on.
Okay. The true answer to this question is you're an idiot. There are robots in Guild Wars 2. It's called the Watch Night tonic. I use it all day, every day.
So
I do play as a robot race. Basically, I just play for 10 minutes and then I log out for an hour and then I come back in and then I play for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that god-awful cooldown is ridiculous. So ridiculous. Oh my, do you hear the bass next door? Do you hear that?
No, I don't. Do you know what I think they should do as well? Like for next patch, right? We're eventually going to take the fight to Scarlet, right? Wouldn't it be cool if the devs added an Easter egg to the game where, like, when you fight Scarlet or however it like all concludes, you do it as a Watch Knight? How cool would that be? And then there's like an Easter egg where she's like, "My minions, you have destroyed me," or whatever. Oh, that would be so cool. Do it. Get on it, people. That's the way it should work.
I wonder how satisfying that end punch for Scarlet would be. Like, just, you know, just like killing her. I wonder how satisfying it would be. And it's got to end with a cutscene as well. They got to end like a cutscene. It has to be like a really cool cutscene. Maybe very artsy.
It's the entire world changes and evolves real time as you run around using your skills and stuff. It's like you're playing God of War or something. It would be amazing.
You would think that after like a year or so that your Guardian will learn how to use the Greatsword a little bit better than how he's using. And you know,
there was a topic we never went on to, and that was the skill leak stuff. You were talking about your Guardian learning to use his greatsword and stuff. You know, they changed a bunch of stuff. We never mentioned it.
Yeah, but it's just changes. It's not like actual weapon skills changing.
It's still pretty cool, dude. You know that they're adding a new Grand Master for Guardians that makes your spirit weapons immune to physical damage.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Like, so you could play your Guardian with a totally new build now as a spirit weapon guy that just never dies.
You also
even
gotta
these
replace,
insane one-shot things.
You can also replace whatever you have in that Grandmaster tree as well. But
yeah, but still, it's a cool new way to play the character. Like, it's almost like you got a different, you know, friggin'. I'm really excited. There's a lot of cool changes. I can't go over all of them, obviously, because it's a huge thing. But yeah, there was another leak for patch notes and stuff, guys. So check it out if you can.
Yep. Link will be
anyway,
in the description.
Next question.
Yeah, as the DJ next door just bounces, just bounces.
Boom, 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 boom. Battle Pot says, "Tune. If you guys do end up doing a VisualWood convention, would WP turn up with a paper bag over his head in Shia LaBeouf fashion?"
All right,
Shia LaBeouf.
You ever heard of the Shia LaBeouf's thing, his little stunt thing?
No. Can I get a link?
All right. So just put Shia LaBeouf bag overhead.
I don't know how to Google.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Google. Dude, I swear Google's gonna just take over the world. Like, I feel
oh
like
my
we
god,
use Google
I am not
too
famous
much.
anymore.
Well, you put wooden potatoes in and nothing comes up.
No.
Like, nothing comes up. Like, nothing. Like, like it's just an empty Google page. Or it doesn't just have an error.
About this. If you do go for wooden potatoes, if you do Google image wooden potatoes, there's like a guy, like a pretty fat looking guy with like curtains or whatever, like looking very, you know, disheartened or whatever at the Guild Wars 2 logo. And like, I don't like it that it's there because people are going to think, oh, that's WP. All the other people that appear there, like Grouch is there, you're there, Bogot is there. These are all recognizable people in the community, but I don't know who that guy is. And so I feel like they're going to just associate it with me. And I feel so bad if that person listens to this podcast or whatever. I don't mean to be mean about the way you look or anything. But it's like, oh, man.
It looks sad. Like he wrote a really bad review about Guild Wars 2. And he's just like...
Yeah.
He's like disappointed how the direction of the game went or something.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that sad face. Look at that sad face.
That should be the thumbnail.
I'm going to squeeze his cheeks.
Okay.
If you're listening to this,
all right, don't patronize him. Don't.
Wait.
Like, and there's no way you can see who he is either. Like, you can't click and link through it or anything.
If he comes to me, right, at one of these conventions that we're obviously going to go to, and we're obviously going to have a panel eventually, right? VisualWood is going to get like millions of views eventually.
We talked about it. 2016.
2016. This is when it's going to happen. Come on, guys, get with the program. Where that guy comes up to me and he says, "You said you would squeeze my cheeks." I'm gonna squeeze his cheeks. And I might even give him a little peck, a little peck. On his
wow!
cheek.
Now you're gonna get people who are like attracted to you coming up and saying it.
My wife also carries a gun.
Nice.
If you're a guy, just go ahead, man. Say what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
If you're a girl, then she might get a little jealous. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because a lot of hotties watch us, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of hotties, man. I'm just saying, you guys are beautiful people out there. Very beautiful people, guys and girls alike. Some sexy guys out there.
That's
no,
very
you just gonna let me. Oh, okay. It's very what? Hmm?
No. I was just gonna say you've been very inclusive and very pleasant, and I was enjoying listening to it. That's all. Next question is from Tom Stevenson, who says, "Hi WP and MV, do you think that waypoints are, with all things considered, bad for the game? They're a nice comfort, but does this convenience sacrifice more important things?" Then he has a whole bunch of other stuff, but did you just want us to answer the top question?
Yeah. He basically has topics of discussion, but so what do you think about?
But we're gonna disregard those and just
no. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and read them.
He says discussion points. By sacrificing the convenience of waypoints, we could get a set of more valuable assets that include a stronger conveying of the scale of Tyria, a stronger realization of dangerous enemy territory zones. People could perhaps be more likely to spend time exploring less traveled areas, a more immersion-friendly way of traveling, the good old-fashioned way. I sort of agree. I like that concept for Guild Wars 2. You know, but it's we've talked about this on the podcast before, sadly, so I don't want to get in the full discussion again, but I really do think that the game is at a point where they could never remove waypoints again. And you're just looking for the whole thing with Guild Wars 2, it's very open and accessible to people. I think we can both agree with that, right? Yeah. And waypoints are like integral to that, you know, they really are. And
when the worm spawns, you want to get there very quickly.
Yeah, to remove that, it just would be a very, very different game, and the philosophies that run behind the systems they've developed for it would be in direct. They would be fighting with one another all the time. I think if you really like this idea, and trust me, I really like this idea, you have to look for it in a different game. Like, when me and Matt were playing it, I really enjoyed Cube World for this. It was an immense world, and you really felt like you were traveling. Like, we played hours, didn't we? Thinking that we were just going to reach the edge of the map, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, no, it's just another biome. That's crazy cool. And then they had all these features about traveling, you know, you could hang glide, and you could get on the boat and level it up really high. That was cool, man, but it's a very different game, and it just doesn't work for Guild Wars 2, sadly. Anything you want to add? Mounts? Yeah?
Yeah. Mounts. Oh my gosh, mounts. I guess we did talk about it again. Like we're getting to the point where the questions are starting to overlap, right? And then the questions that are probably like new, those are the ones that YouTube is cutting off, and I can't find them because I only can see half my comments. I was like, no wonder like YouTubers are disabling their comments and saying YouTube needs to fix this. Like YouTube is gonna be like, oh my gosh, you disabled your comments. You know, we have to fix it now. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen.
What you need to do is go to Internet Explorer. It's this awesome new thing, and any like browser glitches and weirdness you have, Internet Explorer will fix.
That's a lie.
You might even have it already installed on your computer. Dare I say?
That's a lie. It's not going to work all because it's on Internet Explorer.
I actually do find that. If there's weird oddities on YouTube and I can't see stuff, I can't respond to comments, I go to IE just because it's the only other browser I've installed, and it works.
Really?
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
That happened with a lot of other stuff. I don't know if it was YouTube. Oh, no, actually it was YouTube. I used to use another browser like IE just to upload my videos. You remember when it would stay on processing for like hours?
Oh, I remember.
I had to use IE for that. So yeah, that's actually truthful.
Like people bash it, but it's only because that's the cool thing to do. Anyone with real brain power knows that Internet Explorer is the way to go. Yeah. Hipster. That's a Microsoft endorsement. So the last question.
For some reason.
So half-assed. What is this? So, like, listen to him scrabbling around back there. Oh, there you go. He's coming back. There you go. Just get out of the dusty box. He was
trying to hide. He was visiting. Oh, let me not do that joke. Yeah. Antler is here.
Okay.
All
right. Okay.
And here's the last question, Bill.
Black Raid says, "Hey MV and WP, do you guys have any rituals before, during?" Apparently ringing the bells is a ritual, I guess. Do you have any rituals before, during, or after recording, like some athletes do? Well, I am actually an athlete in my spare time, so I've got lots of different rituals I can talk about, but I'll let you go first, Matt.
So you're trying to make people think that you're not a big fat guy, right?
Yeah, that's just like an alternate persona of me. Yeah.
Right. That you don't constantly eat Christmas cake. and you sit in a lonely room with a candle.
Christmas cake. Wow, dude.
And pizza. Don't forget the pizza. You eat pizza every single night, dude. You still have leftover pizza right now.
Do you know what I had for breakfast today?
Christmas cake.
Cherry pie. Cherry pie.
I knew it had to be some type of dessert. It had to be some type of dessert. It's always some type of dessert. If not, it's pizza. Like, that's it.
I'm really worried it's going to become a serious problem.
Pie. You just had pot pie the other day, so that's a change.
Look, if I tell you that I'm going to go on a diet, are you going to be like, are you gonna jab me about it, or am I gonna, or can I be like, yeah, I'm eating celery every time I'm eating? How's that going to go down?
Don't eat grass for the rest of your life now. There is plenty.
Dude, you'd be great
options.
to ask about diet advice. You'd actually be amazing for that.
Plenty options to not just eat salad your whole life. There's so many ways you can eat good food. I just made cauliflower pizza the other day, dude.
Curry flavored pizza. No, that's really weird. I had that as well.
No. Cauliflower.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
So what you do is it is delicious. It actually is. For me, I don't use cheese because cheese has a lot of fat in it, and if you're trying to lose weight, that's probably not the best route you want to go. Even though I'm kind of thin now, I just kind of want to lose that extra flabbiness, which probably is gonna be hard since I was so big before. Whatchamacallit? I'm a guy, so my skin tightens up quick. You cook the cauliflower, right? And then you squeeze out all the water after you cook it. Then you put it in and you put a drop of egg, some cheese. There's a regular way to do it, but you can put other things like almond flour or whatever to hold it together. And then you put all your spices, your salt, your oregano, your garlic powder, all that stuff. And then you flatten it out and then you put it in the oven. And it actually gets solid. It's not to the point like that it won't break apart, but you can actually lift it up with one hand and flip it over and stuff like that, and it won't break apart. Like it's actual dough. It's actual dough. Yeah. And then you can, if you squeeze, the important part is squeezing out all the water. But just look it up. This guy named Food Wishes I watch. He did it properly. So if you want to learn how to make that, and it's like a healthier way instead of eating bread, because bread is the devil if you're trying to lose weight. Let me tell you. All you gotta do is eliminate bread and get your carbs somewhere else, and you're pretty much good.
Can't you just like not get any carbs?
No, you want your body to be balanced with stuff. But yeah, you could not eat carbs and you just get.
Is that mainly what you did? You were just like, right, no more bread.
Well, no. Well, yeah, mainly. A good one is paleo. Paleo with some nice exercise. Mm-hmm. It can totally do it, and it helps you with your muscles, a lot of protein that you're getting, because you eat a lot of meat on paleo. It's basically the caveman diet where you eat a lot of protein and a lot of veggies, and you cut out all that processed crap. You have to give up your cheese, you got to give up your your bread. I love bread, but there are healthier options out there, like Ezekiel bread. Lots of whole grain basically is the best thing you can get. It's still processed, but yeah.
I think if I genuinely wanted to like go on a diet, I could live without bread. That doesn't sound too hard. You can't say that though, because people like try their whole lives to lose weight, and then it's like, no, it's not that easy. I've not eaten bread for 5 years.
Consistency is how you lose weight. That's all you need is consistency. Don't think about cheat days. Don't think about on Friday I'm gonna have ice cream and stuff like that. I can't wait. No, that's not how you lose weight. You lose weight by. And you don't lose weight by going on a diet. You lose weight by changing your lifestyle. Okay? You change the way you eat. That's how you lose weight. Not like, I'm going on a diet for 2 months and then I'm going to eat whatever I want after. Why? You're just going to gain all the weight back. And you're just going to have to do it all over again. What's the point of that? You have to just change the way you eat. Now, for all the skinny people out there that have high metabolism, forget you. All right? I wish I was you. I'm jelly.
Dude, this is amazing. We should have a segment every podcast where you just give people health advice. I can imagine and then somebody like animates it, and it's like Matt Visual's Health Center. And then we'll do like a workout session and stuff at some point.
I actually at one point wanted to do some type of healthy gamer thing, right?
Right.
And actually have like an episode of that and make it all geeky and gamery and stuff like that. Like for instance, I mean, it won't be like this, obviously, but you know Ro, right? She does Nerdy Nummies.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's like the show that you go to when you want to see something nerdy being made. You know, like it would be cool to actually have a healthy gamer, I used to know a guy who used to do that healthy gamer thing as well, but he did it his own way and stuff like that. I don't know. I would do a little bit differently. A little bit differently. So yeah, I don't know. I may try that out one day. When people are opened up for that type of thing. But yeah.
Okay. To the question.
Yeah, to the question. Sidetracked again for the.
Do you have any rituals before, during, or after recording, like some athletes do?
So we don't. I don't know if it's rituals, but we do the bold voice thing. Like, oh yeah, I'm ready.
You do that, not me. Don't drag me into this. I did it once to make fun of you.
You made fun of me.
I don't do that. That's weird and I'm sorry. Okay, not to join in. To join in.
To join in at laughing.
I feel terrible now. I feel terrible. I'm so sorry.
You should feel terrible. I might cry after this podcast. I'm not gonna cry here because I don't want people to think I'm a little girl. So
cry for me, Matt.
Oh, now it just got creepy. Now it just got a little creepy.
You do have that as a bit of a ritual. Do you do anything else?
I take off my pants.
You do say that quite a lot.
Dude, if I'm gonna be sitting here for 2 hours, I need to be comfortable, my friend.
I don't know. You see, that weirds me out just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm wearing pants.
How hairy are your legs?
They're pretty hairy.
Okay, that
I have a hairy chest as well.
That probably
which I feel like I need
to.
I feel like I need to shave. What's like if I get like these big muscles and stuff, like I feel like I have to shave it off to actually like take off my shirt, like when I go swimming and stuff.
No, leave it. Do like a big, grow your afro, right? Like, and then do like a 70s style, like big woolly jumper, but really low cut, like V-neck with like all your chest hair puffing out over the top. And then yeah, it'll be perfect. And then wear like big sunglasses as well.
Amazing,
dude. It'll be so good. So much sex appeal right there. Chest hair. People love it. For me, rituals, I don't know. I always go to get water and then drink it within the first like 10 seconds of the podcast. For this, at least, I always go to get water.
Yeah. Sometimes you go take a whiz as well. Sometimes in the middle of podcasts as well. So that's
I have done that before. It has been the equivalent of being on the bus at school and you're told to go to the toilet before you start and you don't, and then you make the whole bus stop because you're threatening to, make a mess on the...
Well, you just open down the window. Do you have like those windows in the school buses?
Dude, there's no 6-year-old is going to do that out of a school bus window.
I can just imagine just school. No, actually, no, I cannot imagine because I'm not creepy. I'm not creepy.
I'm imagining like the kids sat further back on the bus looking out the window and then just like stuff hurdles past.
Oh, no.
What are we talking about? That's it. That's the last question. There you go.
Oh my gosh, that is creepy. Okay. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And
bit of a ritual there on the outro there.
Leave questions down below that you would like YouTube to make disappear. Because on YouTube's part-time, they actually do magic tricks. But they only do 50%. So the comments will disappear very magically, but they won't reappear.
Well, that's a bad trick. Have you never watched The Prestige?
No. Actually, no. I think I did see that. Long time ago. Yeah, I did.
Is the moment in a magic trick, you make something disappear, the trick isn't over until it reappears. So, Pretty Lady disappears off the stage, everyone's like, oh, and then she appears behind them in the stairs, and then they all applaud. That's like integral to the trick, The Prestige. So, like, YouTube are bad magicians.
Yeah, by the way, like, there's some really good magicians out there that would wow you even now, like, in this day and age. Like, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. I've seen the guy who he does his show on Nerdist, I think, and you should go look him up. He's actually pretty damn ridiculous. You're
just giving yourself more and more links to find.
I know. Hopefully, all the links I mention, they're all in my browser right now because that's the only way I remember. So,
well, some of them are things I've mentioned.
Well, good luck with that, because unless you send it over to me on Skype, people are going to have to use Google. You can use Google, guys. They're very easy. It's very easy to do. Everyone has done it at least once in their life. So,
That's a crazy thought. That's probably true for a lot of people. Well,
yeah.
Okay. People born after 1990, it's probably true.
And once Google Fiber is, you know, all over the
in
world,
our first world developed nations, I'll just say.
They will control the world. So
that are not in Asia. Yep.
At least, or it will spread. It will spread. Okay. First, it'll spread to the UK, and then it'll spread outward.
Okay. All right.
Like
predictions for the future. A bit of a magic trick on its own.
Visual.
Matt Visual wears no pants.